Well, both the Bath and Defiance football teams coming off big wins last week as the Bulldogs made it 42-21 over Elida to try and put some steam into their sails. On the flip side, the Wildcats just continue to keep winning. 49-35 versus Elida as they maintain sole possession of second place in the WBL at 7-1, 6-1 in conference play. They know they will be playing after the last weekend of the regular season. On the flip side, Defiance at 4-4, 3-4 respectively, could help their cause out tremendously with a win tonight. The coaches call it 5 days of hype. It is homecoming week, which means there's plenty of potential distractions to go along with all the school spirit. But as every coach will tell you, the dance is always a lot more enjoyable after a win. Welcome aboard, everybody. DCTV Sports is on the air with the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Bulldogs welcome the Wildcats. Scoop, I know on paper this maybe doesn't look like the matchup we expect it to be, but let's be honest. When you are hungry, throw all the stats, throw all the records out the window. And this is a Defiance team that's coming into tonight very hungry.
Well, I totally agree. The fact that Defiance is coming off back-to-back wins for the second time this season, snapping that 4-game losing streak. Both these teams in Week 9 have a lot to play for, so this is going to be one of these highly contested games to the finish. As you alluded to, Brent, Bath can control their own destiny to WBL. They still have Wapak next week, but they can't get caught looking ahead to Wapak because this is a Defiance team that's shown much promise and improvement, and again, trying to fight for a playoff berth for the 5th time in the last 6 years.
Let's start with Bath and the Wildcats. They come in with, that's the only best way to say it, gaudy, impressive statistics. Number 2 in the conference in rushing, number 3 in passing, but what really stood out to me was number 2, or next to the bottom, in penalties. This is a team that doesn't beat itself. Defiance is going to have to raise its level of play, and not just for 1 or 2 quarters, but for an entire ball game tonight.
Well, you're exactly right. You remember, just one hiccup is all Bath has faced this year, and let's be honest, I think last year when these two met in Lima, I felt that was a game of Defiance. I think they felt they were going to win, and they left with a 28-0 shellacking there to the hands of the Wildcats. So I think Defiance remembers that night very well. They want to try to right the ship, but I also think we learned just how good that Bath team is a year ago.
On the flip side, another day to practice is another day to improve. We're going to hear from Coach Rittenauer in just a second. We're also going to hear from Coach Russell for Bath. But for the Bulldogs, look, they're not real sneaky. They're going to line up. They've got those big road graders up front, and they've got 2 of the best backs. As a matter of fact, both in the top 10 as far as rushing statistics this season in the Western Buckeye League, and Chase Camaso and Kelton Gibbs. They're going to line up and just say, here's our power, stop it if you can.
Well, no doubt about it, and that's what they want to do. That'll shorten the game. They got to be able to use those 2 guys, as you mentioned, number 2 in the WBL in rushing and number 7 combined. That's going to put a lot of stress and strain on this Bath defense here tonight.
We can break it down, but it's better to hear from the coaches themselves. Had a chance to talk again with both coaches. Let's start with Coach Frank Russell for Bath. He's just around the corner. Earlier this week, had a chance to stop out at a Defiance practice and talk with Coach Rittenauer. He will be on the heels of the opposing visitors here tonight. We're going to take a quick timeout. Do want to remind you, and a big thank you going out to our pregame sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Had a chance to stop out there earlier this afternoon myself. No, I'm not in the market for a new car, but I can tell you when I am, I'll definitely be paying a visit to the lot. You can check them out online as well at drivebobestel.com. Quick timeout. When we come back, we will hear from Bath head coach Frank Russell. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestel.com.
Welcome back. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. DCTV Sports is on the air downtown at the Fred Brown as we are getting set. Hard to believe it's the next to the last week of the regular season. Coach Russell joining us for a little bit of pregame here as Bath off a big win last week. As a matter of fact, they've been doing nothing but winning. 7-1 on the season, coming in to take on Defiance. They're going to try and celebrate homecoming, but the Wildcats would love to play the role of spoiler here tonight. Coach, before we preview, let's rewind. You okay with that?
Sure, no doubt.
All right. Next to the last week of the regular season, I know I asked you before, sometimes, what's the old phrase, the days are long, but the seasons are short. Does it seem like 8 weeks, or does it seem like it's gone by in the snap of a fingers?
Oh, it seems like it's went by in the snap of a finger. You know, it just feels like yesterday we were in August, in camp trying to figure out some things, and here we are week 9 of the season, so it's crazy.
Where's this team made its most improvement from week 1 till now?
I think execution on offense. Zach has just been getting better and better every week, making great reads for us.
Welsh has over 2,200 yards passing. As a matter of fact, 19 touchdowns to just 2 interceptions. That tells me he doesn't make mistakes. Has the game slowed down? And I guess break it down for us. Is that due to pre-snap read or post-snap read or a combination of both?
Well, I think it just comes with experience. When you look at his numbers in my first year as a sophomore year, he had more interceptions than he did touchdowns. And then obviously the next year we kind of balanced that out a little bit. And then this year obviously he's having a phenomenal year, making great decisions.
Now, as a possession wide receiver myself, just a couple years ago, you've got different types of talent that line up wide. Obviously, it's easy to take a look at some of the guys with the big numbers, but my coach told me you're not going to take the top off the coverage. But on 3rd and 7, know where the chains are and run an 8-yard route. Who is that unsung hero for you?
Well, really, I would really say that all of our guys are possession receivers. We really don't have that type of guy like Ethan Cole last year for us that could blow the top off. But we all of our guys are pretty smart, and they run good routes, and they're crisp and getting out of their breaks. So it's been really good for us.
And you also want tempo. I know we talked a little bit. I remember when Joe Tiller finally came out with the spread in the Big Ten just a few seasons ago, but he called it basketball on grass. How fast, when this offense is clicking, how fast from the time the official spots it to snap to read to the ball's out of your QB's hand?
Well, we're normally waiting on the officials, so that's kind of that's our motto. We want to get going, and we Defiance, like us, play a lot of guys both ways, and so we want conditioning to be a part of the game because we feel like we work really hard and that we pride ourselves, so we're going to do some things that other teams may not do.
Switch to the defensive side of the football, and you've got some hawks at linebacker. They cover all 53 1/3. Defiance, and Coach Rittenauer has said it, they're not too secretive. They're going to line up. Their strength of those road graders up front, Kelton Gibbs and Camaso, they'd rather run through you than around you. What's the key to keeping that running game between the hash marks tonight?
Well, obviously we want to win early downs, and we want to force them to do some things that they're not comfortable doing. They start a young quarterback, and so we want to make them throw the ball, and hopefully it works out to our advantage.
Other keys for a win tonight?
Get lined up and just play fast. And, we talked before we left our school today, I told our kids, it's probably going to be a great environment here. It's homecoming for them, senior night. Enjoy the crowd, enjoy where we're at, and just enjoy the moment. It's high school football.
All right. We're going to enjoy it up in the broadcast booth. Best of luck to you, Coach.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate you.
Coach Russell joining us as the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues right after this. We'll have the starting lineups and the keys to the game. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Welcome back. DCTV Sports is on the air. The Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues. How lucky do I get? Homecoming, Defiance versus Lima Bath. Hard to believe we're basically in the next to the last weekend of the regular season. Coach, I know there's an old phrase, the days are long, but the seasons are short. Now, when you're 16, 17, and 18, that probably doesn't hit you, but as a coach who's been around a while, is there a lot of truth in that statement?
Oh, yeah, it flies by. It seems like yesterday we were getting ready for Napoleon, and it seems like we're middle of two-a-days, and here we are, homecoming, senior night.
Yep.
And like I said, got a great opportunity to play a great team in Lima Bath.
Coach Rittenauer, as always, brought to you by our pregame sponsor, Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, located on North Clinton Street in Defiance. Check out their great selection of new, and if you're a poor broadcaster, used vehicles. You can check them out on the lot, in person, or online at drivebobestill.com. buildup.com. Coach, we're still working on that big 4x4, or was it a convertible that you said?
I think we said Corvette.
Corvette.
I think we went up to Corvette. I'll take a 4x4.
Convertible.
Though.
Cue up Prince, little red Corvette.
I'll take whatever they got.
This guy will be styling before you know it. All right, in all honesty, let's talk about where this team is at right now. You mentioned the season opener versus Napoleon. We've had tremendous weather. As a matter of fact, we haven't had what you'd call football playing weather really at all during the last 8 weeks. But at the same time, another day to practice is another day to get better. So I'm going to ask you to rewind 8 weeks, maybe even 10 weeks into 2-a-days. How is this team? Where has this team improved the most, in your opinion?
I think, oh man, that's a good question.
I got you.
We wanted to make sure that we could run the ball, and I really think our offensive line and Coach Brugler and Coach Huffman and Coach Powell and all those guys, Coach Trudell, they've done a great job of really materializing that. I'd hope to be able to run the ball as well as we have been. I'm really pleased with the development. I knew Kelton and I knew Chase and I knew some of our backs were going to be pretty good. But I think overall I'm a little surprised by their development. I'm really pleased. I thought last week it was against a pretty good defense. I thought we improved better throwing the football. And like I said, overall, these guys have never lacked energy. So it's always an energetic practice. But I think we really worked on the last couple of weeks. We really worked on our penalties from those 2 weeks there with Shawnee and Van Wert. And overall, these guys, I think probably, thinking of it now, how level they've been. We haven't had really ups and downs, but we've been, pretty good practices. We just, had a couple of those games in there that we, sort of, penalized ourselves, so to speak. But I'm pleased with their attitude. I'm pleased with their effort. And as a coach, that's what you want to coach.
Sure. 42-21 last weekend against Elida. One of the things that you and I talked about the last time I had a chance to put the mic in front of you, you said this defense is there 85 to 90% of the time. But the big play has stepped up and bit you. And let's be honest, in a couple of occasions, it's been the difference between a win or a loss.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of that has to do with just mental preparation. But as you talked about, positioning, even a half a step, especially if you're playing in space, can make the difference between a 6 or 7 yard gain or a 60 or 70 yard touchdown. How's that progressed?
Our communication has definitely improved. And, we've got a lot of young guys back there. So every game, it's like I tell the coaches, it's almost like if anybody here has ever tried to teach their children to drive, you really don't know what they don't know until they don't know it. So I know that sounds probably, but we take for granted that kids know what a formation is when we say 3-by-1. And I can tell you just a couple weeks ago, we're yelling at cover, and, we got to, make some placements, some ad libs on the sideline. And one of our, he'll remain nameless, but one of our players, we kept telling him to get over the number 3 receiver. And then he comes and said, there is no number 3. Well, it's the position number 3, and he's a freshman. And, thank God it happened and it didn't really cost us. But, those kind of things. So, but I think the more they play together, the more they practice, the more confidence they get. And we were able to make some adjustments there on the field. But, we've got some youth back there on the defensive end. And that's going to take some time to develop a language that they understand. And, and that's really, that just takes time and experience.
Sure. Speaking of time and experience, Bath has both. Only one loss on the season. Top 2 to top 3, depending on it's the rushing or the passing offense. Also, bottom 2 as far as penalties. They just don't beat themselves. I don't want to say, how do you beat a team that doesn't show any weaknesses, but they're not going to beat themselves. What's the key to pulling this one off tonight?
We got to play our brand of football. We're going to have to, run the football. We're going to have to be very effective in our passing game. And, long drives. I don't know if there's a 12-minute drive we could come up with, but that'd be awesome. But we've got to play sound defense. They love the big strike. I mean, they're going to throw the ball downfield. They challenge you.
They've got tall wide receivers.
Oh, they got the tallest wide receivers in the league. They're aggressive. They know what they're doing. It's going to be a great challenge for our defense. But if we can limit the big play and make them drive the length of the field, and then control, some ball control offense, I think we can be right there with them. And that's all you really ask for is to have an opportunity to win it. in the fourth quarter. And, we can't beat ourselves. We got to limit our penalties, and especially the pre-snap penalties and everything. But, if we can limit the damage they do and get a turnover or two maybe. I mean, when they throw the ball that much, there's going to be turnovers, and we just have to be, we just got to make sure we take advantage of anything that comes our way.
It's homecoming, which means a week's worth of school spirit, but also potentially a week's worth of distractions. You and I were joking about it, but there's a lot of truth to it. Dance is always more fun after a win. How has this squad been able to obviously enjoy the festivities, but also stay focused?
Well, we talked at the beginning of the week, we talked about, handling all the distractions. It's for you. I mean, you should take, when I remember when I played, it was, we always had to act like we were, stern face and not having any fun. And then when I started coaching, Jerry always would tell the kids, and, hey, this is for you. So when we're at football, it's football practice. But then at the same time, you only get one homecoming, especially as a senior. So, they do this for you. And, every now and then, enjoy it. But obviously, we want to keep it in perspective and welcome to life. Life's full of, you got to focus. And whether you want to call them distractions or school activities. But, I think our kids did a good job of this. We'll have to wait and see for the until the end product. But I'm pretty, like I said, they handled it pretty well this weekend.
You're also working towards the tail end of the season and the postseason. I don't want to go into too much of the percentage here, the points. Obviously, Bath would be a huge win, but there's still 2 more weeks left to go. Is it just safe enough to say if you win, you take care of business in the last 2 weeks, there's a spot waiting for you? Do you have that conversation with the guys, or is it just the next game that's the most important one on the schedule?
We've discussed it, but we're under the understanding that we got to be 1-0. We got to be 1-0 come Friday, Saturday morning, and we've got a 2-week season right now, and it's 1 week at a time. And if we take care of business, I think there might be an opportunity. But if we don't take care of business, we won't have to worry about it. So the focus right now is, putting our best product forward, and when we take on Bath on Friday.
All right. Coach, as always, we appreciate it. Can't wait to see you in the solo dance in your tux for homecoming. Best of luck to you.
Cummerbund.
He doesn't even need to rent one, folks. He has one hanging in the corner of his closet. Good luck to you, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
We're going to take a quick time out. We're back with more of the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948.
Back at Fred Brown Stadium as we are counting down the minutes here to kickoff. It is homecoming as the Defiance Bulldogs welcoming the Bath Wildcats. Bulldogs still trying to better their position and solidify a spot in the postseason here after the next week, wrapping up the regular season. Bath at 7-1, 8-1 overall. They know they will be playing. The only question is with what seed and where. As the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show continues here on DCTV Sports, Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller as the Defiance Band of Class has just finished up the alma mater. The color guard is working its way onto the track, and we've still got a couple of minutes here before we get the national anthem. So let's go ahead and take a look at the keys to the game this evening. Scoop's got those, and let's start with the Bath Wildcats.
Well, I think tonight for the Wildcats, it's going to be awfully important that they win that turnover chain. They really have to do a great job protecting the football. And on the flip side, I think they need to force some turnovers. And I think the other thing is something they've been really good at, Brent. They need to be multidimensional. They need to be able to mix in the run and pass, and that has not been an issue for this offense that's prolific and leads the WBL in points scored this season.
This is a different style of offense than what we'll see around most of the WBL. Instead of running to set up the pass, they will pass to set up the run. So Defiance's defense is going to get strained on the backside early in this ball game. On the flip side, for the Bulldogs, keys for a victory.
Well, I think for Defiance, it's going to be awfully important that they win the trenches. That's where most football games are decided. I'm sure tonight will be no different. So they have to be really tough and stout on both sides of the football down low. I think the other key tonight for Defiance, they have to find a way to get off the field on third down. They have their hands full with this offense. As you mentioned, they will be pass heavy, but they do have a good running attack as well, including really their all-Ohio quarterback in Zach Welsh. So they're going to have to be really tough there. When they get a chance to get off the field, they have to cash in because, again, this offense for Bath comes in not only leading in points scored, but also leading overall offense over 400 yards per game this season.
Those are the keys to the game, brought to you by Northwest State Community College. Your key to great career opportunities begins with a great education at Northwest State. Visit northweststate.edu or give them a call today at 419-267-1320. As you can see just to the left of your screen there, the Bulldogs have busted through the banner, and they are hoping to celebrate homecoming in style. And on the other end of the field, here come in the baby blues and white, the Bath Wildcats. Again, coming into tonight's contest, both teams coming off of victories last week for Defiance, a 42-21 win versus Elida. On the road, actually, I think it was a home game for Bath. I stand corrected. 49-35 versus Salina. As Bath at 7-1 overall, 6-1 in conference play, and Defiance standing in at 4-4 and 3-4 respectively. As the color guard, there you see the series history. 56th meeting between these two programs. Bath leads by 7, 31-24. It's been a homecoming all this week. And as you heard Coach Rittenauer mention, 5 days of school spirit, but also 5 days of potential distraction. He's told his team, take advantage of it. You only go around once, but make sure you're focusing on what's the most important thing, because homecoming leads up to tonight. 3 hours of truth, and we'll see if the Bulldogs can pull off the upset here this evening and help solidify their chances for a postseason bid. As the color guard on the south side of the field, now walking out down the goal line, just off your screen, as we are getting set for the playing of our national anthem. And it will be brought to you by the Defiance County Veterans Office. Proud to support local veterans and their families, connecting them with resources available to them. Check them out online. As there you take a look at the colors. The state flag will be lowered. The stars and stripes will remain staying high. And we get set for the national anthem from the Defiance Marching Band. And the national anthem, again brought to you by the Band of Class, the Defiance Marching Band, and our underwriter, the Defiance County Veterans Office. Well, the coin toss happened about 20 minutes ago. The Bulldogs won and deferred. So they will be kicking off to open up the game, which means the Wildcat offense will be on the field first. So let's take a look at your starting lineups, brought to you by Baker Schindler Company, proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, baker-schindler.com. Let's take a look at the Wildcat offense. They will be opening things up. And, of course, that high-powered, high-octane passing game led by quarterback Zach Welsh. 164 completions in 236 attempts. He's thrown for over 2,200 yards this season. He's got 19 touchdowns with just 2 interceptions. He doesn't make mistakes, but he's got a slew of wideouts who can do the job, and not the least of which is Josiah Clark, the tall, 6'2", 185-pound junior, number 3 scoop, 57 catches for 749 yards and 11 touchdowns. He averages 123 receiving yards per game.
Yeah, just incredible, the receiving cores they had. You combine that with the fact that Zach Welsh is a guy that throws an awfully accurate football, hitting nearly 70% of his passes this season. And, oh, yeah, Welsh also one of the top 10 rushers in the WBL as well. So he's kind of that dual threat, can hurt you with his arms and his legs. He's going to be awfully important for Defiance to find a way to slow down and contain, where it could be a long homecoming night here for the host Bulldogs.
Well, tailback Mickey Hale stands in at just 5'7", 145 pounds, but the senior has impressive numbers as well. 114 carries for 748 yards and 16 touchdowns. He averages 104 rushing yards per game. So they can do it in multiple ways. Defensively, the chore for the Bulldogs, and they will line up the following 11. And the down linemen, they run a 3-4. Normally when you think of 3 down linemen, you're thinking, okay, gum things up, maybe take out a couple of blockers and free up your linebackers to leverage the football. But Tyler Dobin-Kiesling has 20 tackles, including a couple sacks and 4 for a loss. Alex Hinojosa has 22 at nose guard, and Matthew Walter at the other end has 29 tackles, 8 for a loss. So despite rushing just 3, they are very effective. Of course, Kelton Gibbs at outside linebacker does a little bit of everything. 49 tackles, 1.5 sacks. He's got a fumble recovery and a blocked punt alongside Camaso, Schultz, and Davis. And then on the backside, Hegler and Burris are your corners. Your safeties, Horvath and Jordan Wright with 28 tackles, but he's number 1 in the conference with 4 interceptions. As the ball is teed up, it's going to be Jamison Burris, set to put a foot into it. Standing deep are Andrew McDermott. This kick is going to come to the near side. It is bobbled by an up back, that's Josiah Clark, and he wisely decides to fall on it at the 25-yard line. So decent field position for the Wildcats to open up the ball game. 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Sun setting earlier and earlier over the past 3 to 4 weeks. Lights beaming down here at Fred Brown Stadium. Bath in their traveling white with the Pavy, make that powder blue numbers. Defiance coming with the black jersey tops with the blue pants tonight, going a little bit more blue collar. As starting out of the gun, Welsh with Hale, the only running back, steps back, has plenty of time, fires underneath. He's got his man, that's Cole, out past the 40 and falls forward to about the 42. That's going to be a pickup of about 12, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Oh, there you see the key right away. You see Welsh there had plenty of time to throw the football, and wow, he throws a nice tight spiral, and that one's going to be good for a quick first down.
Actually, that's going to be out 17. I'm sorry, not 12. Add on another 5. And they want to run quickly. This is just simply a jailbreak screen. It is complete down the far sideline. Cole works his way out to the 50. Looks like they'll spot him officially at the 49, but again, winning first down, a pickup of roughly 3.
Well, something they've done a lot of this season, controlling first down, and now they're going with a little tempo.
And he's going to rush in between the hash marks. He's across midfield inside the 45 and down at the 44, and we have a back lineman down. Very slow to get up, a little hobbly. That is, well, couldn't quite get a number. So light down there. This is going to be first down and 10 from the 42-yard line. Bass high-octane offense already on the move. They're going to blitz, trying to heat him up. This is dumped off into the flat. Hale's got it, strung out. Busts one, busts two tackles as he dances his way inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a short pickup. It will also stop the clock.
All right, now good execution by the Wildcats as they were able to slip Hale out of the backfield, find him. Once again, nice pickup, a solid 3 yards on first down.
2nd and 7 from the 39. Ball rests on the far hash. Strong side to the right. Trips to that side. Quarterback draw, well straight up the gut. Busts a tackle, falls forward inside the 35 to the 34.
A nice job by Welsh to design quarterback draw. And again, the key to winning football games, Brent, you've got to win plays, and that is getting 4+ yards per crack. And right now they're looking awfully good on this opening drive.
Right now, Defiance trying to dial something up defensively, but this high octane, we call it basketball on grass. The old Joe Tiller, former Purdue head coach, used to call the spread offense that, and hard to believe it has trickled not just across the college ranks, but down into the high school ranks, and they are running it to perfection right now. Another design QB draw straight up the gut, just outside the far hash mark, spun down, but the chains will move again down to the 29.
Now this impressive drive continues, 6 plays, and now they've racked up 36 yards, so averaging 6 yards per crack here in the opening 2 minutes.
And they're looking to go again. You talk about speed. That is one of their weapons, in addition to the great physical talent they put on the field. Defense on their heels right now. 1st and 10. Straight drop, looking left, slings it across the middle. He's got a man wide open. Markley's got it. It's a sprint to the far pylon. He'll be brought down inside the 5-yard line.
Well, great execution once again, and they get the ball into the Stanball Jewelers red zone here with their 4th first down of this opening drive, 2 via the airways and 2 via the run. So right now, Bath doing a great job of being multi-dimensional. Now we'll have 1st and goal from the 5-yard line.
Wow, and I believe they're bringing in Davenport, their big defensive end, as a potential up back, and that was going to be an ISO. They tried to fold him in, and Defiance with a nice job to sell out. Everybody coming hard, and that one's going nowhere. I believe that might have been Hinojosa that wrapped up his legs and brought him down.
I believe it was, and a nice job that time of Defiance. They stuffed every gap. They really crowded things in the box. Now we've got twins to the right side here for the Wildcats.
2nd down and goal. Handoff, Hale, second effort, and he's going to be stopped shy of the goal line. And the ball is loose. Is Defiance on it? They think they've got it, and they do. A huge play as Defiance not only stops Hale short of the goal line, but they pick up the loose ball on the fumble.
Yeah, how about that? That time Bath got the look they wanted. Looked like they're getting near that goal line. The ball popped out, and the drive stalls on Defiance 3-yard line. That time looked like Tyler Doan Keathley came in there to recover that pigskin. So Defiance looking at a long field, but they'll take it.
Absolutely.
As the defense bends but doesn't break.
Tyler Doden Kiesling picking up his 2nd fumble recovery of the season. It couldn't come at a better time for Defiance, although they are deep in their own territory. Well, right now they're just going to try and play things close to the vest, as you could imagine. But, Scoop, this is also their bread and butter. So it's not as if the playbook probably shortens up too much for Defiance here.
No, they went 3 or 4 yards in a cloud of dust. So right now they just want to sustain maybe a 15 to 20 play drive here, chew up some clock, and establish some field position, and most importantly, put some points on the board.
I believe that was Abel Paxton with that carry. Make it 2nd down and 8. Handoff straight up the guts, and 2nd, 3rd effort to the 2nd level. And my goodness, that's just taking 1, 2, 3 defenders with him. Kelton Gibbs moves the chains, and that is just vintage Kelton Gibbs.
It certainly is. Boy, he's been lights out and just a load to bring down. And that's a big pickup there. Gives them a little breathing room. 2 plays for Defiance. They net, about 13 yards?
Yep. Kelton Gibbs, there you see, 139 carries, but look at that. Already over 1,250 yards this season, averaging 156 yards per game. And they're going to continue to ride him here as the huge turnover inside the 5-yard line. And now with the first down, a little bit more breathing room, nothing doing inside. Gibbs tries to turn the far corner. Vicious, stiff arm, and look out. He's off to the races. Down the near sideline and pushed out of bounds just past the 35-yard line.
Well, that's just an excellent athletic play right there. As that time, Bath stuffed every gap there. They really loaded up the box. And initially, there was nothing there. He bounced it to the outside, gets to the edge. And 3 plays, 2 first downs for this Defiance offense. They have a fresh set of downs at their own 36-yard line.
Well, you just saw both the power and then the speed of Kelton Gibbs combined on that run. 1st and 10 from their own 36. Everybody's going to look towards the sideline to get the call. Sophomore Colt Ward, 6 foot, 180 pounds, does get the starting nod here this evening. There were 2 listed, as this one is going to be a slam off the right side, and just power football right now, as this one's going to be Abel Paxton on the carry.
Yeah, nice job by Paxton. And again, only a gain of maybe 2 or 3 yards, but that could have easily been a no-gain loss of 1. And right now, Defiance doing exactly what they want to do. We knew coming in, Defiance would love to run the ball 50 times, and Bath would perhaps love to throw it 50 times. But right now, Defiance getting positive yardage, staying ahead of chains right now, looking at 2nd and 7.
Paxton offset towards right, trips to the far side. They're going to roll the sophomore quarterback out that way. Looking. He'll tuck it away and run. He's across the 40, stretches out just shy of the 45. One of the things in talking with Coach Rittenauer a couple of weeks ago when we were out here, Scoop, they're trying to simplify the passing game and specifically post-snap reads as much as possible for Colt Ward. What that means is partial field reads. He's going to have one receiver that's hot, and if that guy is not open, no matter what anybody else is doing, tuck it away and run or throw it away. They want to try to get Colt Ward into rhythm.
Well, you're right, and not only is Colt Ward an athlete, he's a guy that makes intelligent decisions. That time, he made the great read, was able to pick up some positive yards.
Gibbs hitting the backfield, still stays on his feet, spins out of another tackle. Almost busted it to the near side, but he does stretch out to midfield for a pickup of 7. And right now, Defiance's offense is firing on all cylinders.
And again, it starts with getting those positive plays. We talk about it's always a goal as a coach. You want 4+ yards on each and every play. You do that more than half the time, you're going to win football games. And right now, Defiance has been really good. They avoided the penalties. They avoided the negative plays. And right now they keep churning up first downs. That's the 3rd first down of this drive, all on the ground so far for Defiance.
Twins to the near side, right the lone receiver to the far side on 1st and 10, just shy of midfield. Stutter stepping. Gibbs, all he needed was just a little bit of daylight, and that is just power running in between the tackles as he bulldozes down to the 41-yard line to pick up a 10.
Yeah, great job by the senior Gibbs one more time. He gets to that hole so quickly, and then if you miss, he can get to that 2nd level, make things happen. That time, just straight up the gut play. And another first down for Defiance. They now have the ball in Bath territory.
Statistician Josh Bush feverishly working out his new program here tonight. He's got Kelton Gibbs for 4 carries, 48 yards. Pitch, they're going to run a little crossbuck action. Paxton hit and pulled backwards, and I think going to be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that's going to be the first, play that really wasn't a positive play for Defiance. It's going to end up being no gain there. Looks like 2nd and 10. That time, a good pursuit up front there by Lima Bath. Defiance that time tried to pull a couple guys on the backside, but that good surge there from the defensive front ends up causing the tie-up.
Scoop, I've got this as the 11th snap of the football on this opening drive.
Well, we said that's the one thing about getting that long field that maybe Defiance can cash in on. They're going to be able to shorten the game, control the clock. Right now, we're down to nearly the 4-minute mark of this opening quarter.
Handoff on the crossbuck. Here goes Gibbs again. Busts off one man, still carrying another, and he's into the secondary. Nobody's going to catch him. Touchdown Bulldogs, a 41-yard scamper.
Oh, what a drive that time, and what a finish there by Gibbs. It looked like he was going to go down after maybe a gain of 6-7 yards, but you could just see his legs keep churning. He was not to be denied. And after breaking several tackles, he waltzes into the end zone, and that's a West Bankel touchdown for Defiance as they strike first here at the 3:51 mark of this opening quarter.
Big play. Kelton Gibbs with a man-sized run. And we've got whistles sounding here as Burris is on to attempt the extra point. Waiting for the snap. It's low. Nice hold. Burris, no good. No good on the extra point. And so our score remains Defiance 6, Bath nothing. And I'm doing double checking. I accidentally wrote one play down. I got that as a 9-play drive, starting at their own 3. So 97 yards, and with 3:51 showing on the first quarter clock, the Bulldogs take the lead. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more on DCTV Sports.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Discover top-quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real-world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top-quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
I got him.
Back at Fred Brown Stadium, Defiance, after picking up a fumble at their own 3, marches 9 plays, 97 yards as Burris puts this one out of the back of the end zone. The point after was no good, and the Bulldogs off to a good start for their homecoming Friday night with a 6-0 lead over the Wildcats.
Well, right now we're seeing plenty of offense from both teams. Bath on their initial drive, they went 9 plays and went 62 yards before stalling out on that fumble. And then that impressive 9-play, 97-yard march, all on the ground by Defiance. And the Bulldogs strike first here.
Bath can score and score in a hurry. They've got plenty of offensive weapons. Welch rolling out to the near side, looking. He's going to dump it off into the flat. Clark's got it, makes the first man miss, and coming up in support, making a nice open field tackle. It was all or nothing. If Chase Camaso doesn't make that tackle, he's breaking it down the near sideline.
Yeah, it's a great play by Camaso. You're on an island by yourself. It's all one-on-one. He had a textbook tackle, gain of just a couple yards.
Second play, they're running quickly, and down the far sideline, look out. One man to beat, and a touchdown-saving tackle at midfield. That is Hale, and looking, trying to get a number. I think that was 31. 27, excuse me. And that was 27, Marcelo Rhodes, all right. Down the near sideline, look out, 1 play, 2 play, 3 plays. Speaking of which, Clark taking defenders inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line.
Yeah, once again, another big play. They're going with some tempo here. That takes into the Stanball Jewelers red zone. And Bath wasting little time trying to get to that touchdown by Defiance.
And I believe a timeout being called here by Defiance as they are on their heels. Look, Bath isn't doing anything fancy, Scoop. They're getting the ball to their playmakers in space. But what you've seen from Hale, what you've seen from Clark, what you've seen from Markley on that last drive is they all have second gears. And if you're not within a step or two after the catch, they're going to blow by you. You're going to be looking at their backsides.
Well, you're exactly right. And you look at Welsh, too. He's a guy that he doesn't get locked in on one guy. He has the ability to check off different receivers. He'll hit those safety valves when necessary. And right now, boy, he's looking awfully impressive. He makes some really good decisions. He knows when to unleash the ball, when to dump it off. And, boy, he's been impressive. And right now, Defiance trying to slow down this Bath offense. It's really moved the football. 5 first downs now in this opening quarter for the Wildcats.
Well, Defiance, you see the difference in styles. The ball at their own 3, 9 plays later, a 41-yard touchdown run by Kelton Gibbs. The ball at their own 20 after the touchback. This is only going to be the 4th play of this drive, and already Bath has marched down to the Defiance 12-yard line. Lone receiver to the near side, trips to the far side. It's basically an empty backfield as they're going to line Hale up. Welsh surveying that left side. Defiance looks like they're bringing the blitz. They do. He steps aside and wrapped up, brought down 1, 2, 3 defenders there to put the clamps on him. The first to meet him, though, was Cam Schultz, and he hit him low to take his legs away.
Yeah, that time a good read that time by Welsh. That time Defiance was kind of biting on that wide receiver screen. If he throws that ball, it's going to end up being a pick 6. Instead, he's able to tuck it away and get back to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 12. Welsh rolling near side, fires, and almost a tremendous one-handed catch by Hale. The coverage was there, and again, that looks like Schultz. That's a linebacker on the back coming out on a wheel route, and it almost worked, but just enough coverage to break it up by Schultz.
Yeah, I thought that was really good coverage that time by Schultz. That's not an easy matchup. Linebacker picking up a running back, slipping out of the backfield on that wheel route. But that ball was thrown into the perfect window. He gave him a chance, just couldn't quite come up with a spectacular grab.
3rd and 10 from the 12. They can pick up the first down without the touchdown. Welsh being flushed out to the near side, looking. He's going to throw this one deep and floats it out of the back of the end zone. They tried to heat him up, and he was uncomfortable as he had to throw off of his back foot. Isaiah Montez was bearing down on him. And look at this, 4th down, and it looks like Bath is going to keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, kind of surprised by that, but I guess when you're scoring 42 points per contest, you're not selling for 3 points, so here's an opportunity for Defiance. They've bent here in this drive. Can they dig in and get the stop here on 4th and long?
8th snap of this drive. It is 4th and 10 from the 12. It's a timing pattern deep to the corner of the end zone. Almost a one-handed catch. He was going to Logan Markley. The coverage was there. It's broken up. And for the 2nd straight series, the Bulldogs defense holds.
Oh, what a great job by Defiance digging in the red zone that time. And Markley, a guy that's just had spectacular numbers. And he also has that 6'4" frame. They just did a little fade route to him that time, but great coverage there by Defiance in the secondary. And once again, Defiance is able to stop the Wildcats deep in their own territory.
There you saw T.J. Burris, the man on the coverage there, and he only stands in at 5'6". Logan Markley at 6'4", but he got the job done. Turning it over on downs, 1st and 10 from their own 12. Normally you'd say, wow, terrible field positioning, but compared to where they took their first offensive series, this looks like a ton of breathing room. As this is going to be a Wildcat straight up the gut and out to the 20-yard line. Pyle continues to move out to the 21, 22-yard line. That's going to be close to the first down.
Yeah, how about that? That will be a first down.
It will.
I love it. They go Wildcat right away. They go right up the gut. Defiance continues to really grind things up there. Big first downs gives them a little breathing room. They get it outside their own 20. They'll spot it on the 22-yard line. As this quick first quarter, we find ourselves approaching the last 90 seconds, and it's been a good one here for the host Bulldogs.
Same formation. Gibbs is going to be taking the snap here out of the Wildcat, and he's just going to keep it off the right side. Your big horse is hungry. They continue to feed him as he works his way out to the 25, a pickup of about 3.
Yeah, I like what Defiance is doing. You know, no secret. We knew they were going to try to run the ball 50-plus times here tonight. And right now they've yet to go upstairs with it. And right now they're being very deliberate here. They can take their time here and possibly just run one more play here after this before we finish out this first quarter.
I think we're going to have a timeout for Defiance. They weren't quite on the same page. I saw a couple guys tentatively lining up and then all looking over. And Colt Ward, the young sophomore quarterback, looking over as well. And this is a heads-up play by the coaching staff for Defiance. This deep in your own territory, you still are looking at, what, 2nd and 7 here with 56 ticks left to go in the first quarter. There's no need to chance it on this play. Make sure everybody's on the same page.
Oh, I totally agree. You know, right now they're ahead of the chains. You know, they're getting positive yards. So if you got any kind of confusion, these timeouts don't carry over to the second half. So a good timeout used that time by Defiance as they talk things over here, trying to stay ahead of chains. And once again, keep that ball on the ground, keep this clock running. And, wow, their offense has been prolific, as has Baz.
Yes, but in two completely different ways.
No, I totally agree. And again, but that's by design. We kind of knew that coming in.
Well, Paxton is offset to the right of Ward. Strong side will be to the left with trips to the far side. Ward rolling out that way. He's looking. He's going to fire underneath. It is complete to right past the 30, the 35. There's what we talked about. Single receiver is hot pre-snap. If he's not open, Colt Ward had a chance to run it or throw it away, delivered it on the money to Jordan Wright, and that's going to be a healthy game.
Yeah, I love the call. I love the execution that time by the Bulldogs. That RPO where you got the run-pass option, and you got a guy like Colt Ward that can make good decisions. That time he spotted Wright, and Wright's able to move the chains once again. So Defiance continues to find ways to move the chains. They now have 6 first downs here in this opening quarter.
Colt Ward with his first completion of the night, good for 10 yards, takes it out to the 34-yard line. Clock restarts, handoff straight up the gut. One tackler dodged, a second tackler dodged. I believe this is Paxton, who's just lowering the shoulder and playing big boy football as he powers out past the 45 to the 47-yard line.
How about this Defiance offense? They continue to not only control but really dominate first down. As that time they're able to get 11 yards, call it 12, and that takes it to the 47-yard line. Defiance.
Bulldogs look like they might want to run one more play before the half ends here. 1st and 10 from the 47-yard line, although they are taking plenty of time. They're going to make sure that there's nothing left after this snap of the football. Ward barking out the signals. He's got split backs behind him. Handoff, and I believe this is Paxton. It is in between the hash marks, and that is just power north-south running inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Vintage Defiance, and that will bring an end to the first 12 minutes of play. They'll switch ends of the field, and right now we'll see if the power game for the Bulldogs can lead to another score, as they already lead, visiting Bath 6-0. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more after this on DCTV Sports.
Westbanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused Westbanco. Find out more at westbanco.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Second 12 minutes put up on the scoreboard clock here at Fred Brown Stadium. Homecoming week, and Defiance couldn't have gotten off to a better start, but there's still plenty of ball left to be played as the 4-4 Bulldogs going up against the 7-1 Bath Wildcats with a 6-0 lead. As we welcome you back, Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. We'll get to our Arthur Law Firm stat tracker after this snap, but the numbers for both teams are impressive. As the handoff coming to the short side of the field, Gibbs in traffic spins out of it and somehow makes something out of nothing as he's inside the 35 down to the 33. What's that going? About 13 yards, and by all rights, he should have been hit for a loss of 2 or 3.
Yeah, are you kidding me? What a run by Gibbs. You know, he's going lateral there, trying to find a way to head upfield. Just was nothing there. And once he was hit a couple of times, he all of a sudden darted against the grain, is able to move the chains. And wow, Defiance now with 8 first downs here.
With the spot that's going to go as a 10-yard run, 2-step drop, firing into the flat. It's basically a jailbreak screen for Wright, but his wide receiver out in front of him missed the block, and he's lucky to pick up anything on that play, and he maybe gets a yard. Looks like actually going to spot him back at the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that looked like it was maybe trouble from the get-go. That was actually a lateral. That ball was thrown a couple yards backwards, and it looked like it was going to bust down in a hurry. But, again, just an excellent job there trying to get what you can. Instead of getting the negative play, they get back to the line of scrimmage.
This will be the 8th play of the drive. 2nd and 10 from the Bath 33. Under 11 left to go in the first half. Bulldogs, just their second offensive series. Their first started at their own 3. This one started at their own 12. Gibbs hit and wrapped up and going nowhere. That's how you tackle Kelton Gibbs. You've got to take his legs out from underneath him, and that is exactly what number 59, Richard Rope, big 6-foot, 300-pound defensive lineman did.
Yeah, it's a big-time play by Richard Rope. He did everything right. That was a textbook tackle. He's able to get good penetration, wrapped up. No yak yards to be had that time for Defiance, something that they really did a great job of. They had opening 12 minutes, so Defiance for just the second time tonight looking at a 3rd down scenario.
3rd and 10 from the 33. Clear passing down with trips to the near side. Let's see what Defiance pulls out of their playbook here. Ward, 2-step drop. He's going to dump it off into the flat and let Kelton Gibbs try to go to work. Taking on everybody and anybody. Who wants to tackle him as he bulldozes his way down to the 25? He's going to be about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of the 1st down marker.
Well, I love the play call. That time they just kind of dump it the flats to Gibbs. And Kelton Gibbs that time, it makes something out of nothing. He just kind of lowered the shoulder. And there were several yak yards that time, yards after contact. Now it makes it a very manageable 4th and 2.
Is there any question who's going to get this football?
There shouldn't be.
No. Now you do have Paxton offset with Gibbs as well. Strong side to the right. That's where the short side of the field is. So let's see what the play call is as Ward barking out the signals. No surprise, Kelton Gibbs lowers the shoulder, and we got a flag being thrown in the Defiance backfield. Bath thinks they've stopped him.
Yeah, that time he's going to be definitely a yard short here.
This may be immaterial, though, too, because I think we've got a false start on the Bulldogs. Let's take a look. How about this? Because that's the first penalty thrown in a quarter and a half here, and it's holding going to be the call against Defiance, so Bath won't even accept that.
Yeah, great stand that time by Bath after Defiance just really had their way on the ground. They came up big there in that 4th and 2.
So 1st and 10 from their own 25 for just their 3rd offensive series. Let's take a look at the Arthur Law Firm stat tracker. If a serious injury from a car crash puts you on the injured list, call the personal injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm, serving Northwest Ohio for more than 50 years. Your winning team, Arthur Law Firm. Now taking a look at rushing for Defiance, 133 yards in that first quarter, 18 passing for 150 total. For Bath, 139 total, 118 through the air. Yet the only stat that matters is the scoreboard, as that was a dangerous pass down the rail route, down the near sideline, knocked away and just a little bit past the outstretched arms of Cam Schultz, or they might have the football with a very short field.
Yeah, how about the freshman Cam Schultz that time? Boy, he read that like a book. He was able to get a hand up on it. Just couldn't quite haul it in, but a nice break up there to bring up 2nd down and 10 here for Bath.
From the 24, 2nd play of the drive. Straight drop. Pressure coming. They try and slid up a slip screen, and nothing doing. Snipped out incredibly. The first man to get there was the defensive end, Matthew Walter, but there were easily 3 other black and blue jerseys there. And, man, this Defiance defense, they're not necessarily heating up Welsh, but they are sticking like glue to the receivers right now.
Well, it looks like they spent the entire week in the film room because they were all over that play like they've been many times here tonight. And that slip screen's been very good to Bath all season, but that's going to net a -4 yards.
Look at this. 3rd and 13 from the 21. Empty backfield. Welsh steps up in the pocket. He throws off his back foot. That's a long throw to the far boundary. Open field and a gallant effort to get back out to the 30, but well shy of the first down marker is Mickey Hale. And this is going to bring up the first punting situation for either team so far tonight.
Yeah, how about Defiance? They forced them into 3rd and 14. We do have some laundry down on the field.
Was that thrown on the far boundary? Must have been. And it came at the end of the play, and it's a personal foul against Defiance. Oh, my goodness.
Boy, that's a dagger. Defiance had them well short of the first down. They're deep in their own territory. They're going to have to do something they do not like to do, and that's punt the football away.
Not now.
But instead, that service master penalty will give Bath new life and a fresh set of downs as they'll take over at the 45-yard line.
Wow.
45.
That is, I don't know how else to say it. You got to be more disciplined. Got to be more disciplined. So the drive stays alive. 1st and 10 from the 45, and I'm looking at the body language right now by the Wildcats, Scoop. They've just been given a second breath of air, and they are looking to take advantage of it as Hale gets the first handoff of the evening, powers his way outside the far hash marks down to midfield, but that's a healthy gain of 5 on first down.
Yeah, that time Defiance sent both middle linebackers on an all-out blitz. They still picked up 5 yards there down the middle.
Coming with the hurry up, Hale again, straight up the gut, coming off the right side, trying to run off a big center, Caden Shoemaker at 5'10", 200 pounds, and Clayton Rex, 5'8", 255 at right guard. He's going to be shy of the marker by about 4 yards. It brings up another 3rd down. Defiance defense trying to buckle down. Bath trying to extend the drive and find the equalizer. Bush throws off his back foot, and oh, what a fingertip catch just shy of the 35-yard line and dropped at the 30. That was gunned in on a crossing route, a tremendous fingertip catch by Logan Markley.
Boy, it really was. And how about Welsh one more time, throwing a strike.
1st and 10 from the 31. He'll dump this one off in the flat. Hale's got plenty of green in front of him. Cuts back against the grain. Spins out of another tackle. Still on his feet as he busted inside the 15 down to the 14. Now inside the Stambaugh Jewelers red zone.
I tell you what, they just continue to move the football, but they've shot themselves in the foot on their first 2 drives. Right now they look determined here to try to finish out this drive, as they have a first down at the Defiance 14-yard line.
Stambaugh Jewelers, your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring or a timeless anniversary gift, Stambaugh Jewelers, serving the area since 1948. 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 13. Welsh on a design quarterback draw, straight up the gut. Nobody's going to touch him as he Cadillacs it into the end zone. 6-all with the point after coming.
Yeah, great job by Welsh to cap off an impressive drive there by the Wildcats. As that time he calls his own number, and he goes in untouched there, Brent, on the quarterback draw. And just like that, Lima Bath has tied things up here. And now trying to connect on the extra point, something they've been really good at this season. 36 for 36 for the Wildcats, trying to take their first lead of the night.
Kicker Isaac Wells, as Scoop mentioned, perfect on the season in point afters. He's only attempted 1 field goal all season. He's 0 for 1. And are they going to go for 2? It looks like they're going to keep the offense on the field, so they will try the 2-point conversion. Ball sits on the far hash mark at the 2-yard line, and I'm not sure what the delay is here. Bath is yet to break the huddle. Oh, they're going to bring in their big defensive end, L.J. Davenport, all 6'4", 270. And last time they ran him as a glorified fullback. They tried to fold him in and handed it off to Hale. Instead, they're going to pitch, coming hard. Hale makes the first man miss, but he's brought down inside the 5. denied as a great open field tackle by Evan Fogel, and it keeps the game knotted at 6-all. Did Bath chase points a little too early in your opinion?
I'm not sure what they're doing there. You've got a guy that's 36 for 36 on the year. You're tied up, and I think you want to force Defiance to chase points, but instead they kind of rolled the dice, and Defiance makes them pay. So both teams unsuccessful on the point after, and we remain tied here at 6.
So Bath with the West Banco touchdown every day since 1870. You opened up an account then, didn't you? Community focused. Find out more at westbanco.com. Scoop has an account.
Don't tell my wife, though.
secret account so you can go to Stanbaugh Jewelers to buy her, so that way she can't follow the money trail, right? You're not dumb. This guy knows what he's doing, ladies and gentlemen. So on to put a boot into it, Walls, and let's see who's standing deep here for Defiance. Boy, they're wearing those dark unis with the dark numbers. Standing deep, and I believe, oh boy, fielding it at the 2. This is going to be right. Trying to get behind his wall, out past the 20, 25, finds some green, and it was one man to beat, or he would still be running as he's brought down at the 31-yard line.
That's a big-time return by Jordan Wright. That time it looked like Bath really stayed in their lanes. They had containment, but he saw just a slight seam there, and he took it. And it wasn't for that touchdown-saving tackle. Boy, that would have changed this thing around. But once again, a good starting position for Defiance.
Yes.
The best starting position they've had tonight.
Well, right now, Defiance, no surprises. Getting it done on the ground here this evening. Right now, 162 yards compared to 199 total for Bath. But the score is 6-6 as Gibbs hit in the back and brought down. Boy, he was spun around, and the ball is loose, but it came out after his knee was down and the play blown dead. And I believe was that big number 99, Jack Rader.
Yes, it was. And how about Bath? They're really starting to get a little bit more anxious on defense, flying to the football, trying to get some pressure in that backfield. The negative play here for Defiance kind of puts them behind the chains there and throws them off schedule a bit.
Well, they're flipping sides now. Rader and Davenport have been lining up next to each other in the early part of this ball game. Now they're basically bookending. Davenport at 270, Rader at 275. And they are muscular, ladies and gentlemen, as Paxton bounces off one man and powers his way forward to the 33. Pickup of around 4, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, another strong run by Abel Paxton that time, but again, that defense is really starting to dig in there for the Wildcats.
Well, let's be honest. Defiance isn't doing anything secretive. They're going to line up one-on-one and try and run it down your throat. So if you're Bath, what we're seeing now, 10, sometimes 11 men in the box.
Yeah, they're daring them to throw the football, especially early here, trying to get them to be one-dimensional. And right now, a huge 3rd down coming up and an opportunity for this Bath defense to get off the field.
Trips to the far side. Neither team has been forced to punt yet. Ward rolling out. Pocket stays clean. Fires off his back foot. Boy, there's lots of contact. The ball was low as he was trying to go to Will Horvath. And the Defiance sideline wants a flag. They wanted interference, but a call not forthcoming. And for the first time tonight, a punt for either team.
Yeah, after that first quarter, I wasn't sure we were going to see one. The way these teams were just moving the football, getting 5 to 10 yards per crack. Now Defiance forced to punt it away from about their own 25-yard line.
It should be Hegler into punt, and I don't see anybody deep to return. Are they coming after him? And they run the fake. Out into the flat, it's caught, and down the near sideline, it's Walter. It's a foot race to the end zone. Is anybody going to catch him? Run down at the 5-yard line.
Holy cow, how about that one?
Matt Walter, a little riverboat gambler by the Defiance coaching staff, and it pays off as they're looking at 1st and goal.
Oh, what a big-time gutty call that time by the Bulldogs, and it works to perfection. Great execution. It looked like Bath kind of sensed something was going on, but still unable to stop it, and that's a huge conversion on 4th down. That takes it down to the Stanbaugh Jewelers red zone for Defiance, a huge fourth down conversion.
62 yards on the catch, and now just like that, knocking on the door at 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Split backs, Gibbs and Paxton, and it's going to be a keeper, and nothing there for Ward.
Yeah, that time I'm not sure either option was a good one for Defiance as the Wildcats continue to stuff the box. And that time they get a big stop on 1st down, so 2nd goal from the 5 coming up.
No gain on the play. They tried a little trickery there, but Bass defense read their keys, stayed home. And now I think you got to see a steady diet of most likely number 32 here, don't you?
Well, you have
Under
to.
center. Going to hand it off, and Gibbs lowers the shoulder, but he's going to come up just a bit shy, down to the 3, maybe even the 2.5-yard line.
Well, I think this is what we're going to see here on out, Brent. I mean, obviously I could be wrong, but I think if you're going to go down, you're going to go down with fully loaded, give them what you got.
Absolutely.
And that time, they do get some yardage. That time they get 2 yards. So right now, they're looking at 3rd down and goal from a 3. But, boy, I feel this is 4-down territory if they don't get it here.
Not going too far out on a limb. Paxton offset. And did we have movement in the backfield? I think Abel Paxton flinched, and that's going to be a false start.
Boy, that's a tough one. Just the 2nd service master penalty of the game. But they both have been on Defiance. And, boy, that's going to throw you off schedule there a little bit instead of looking at 3rd and goal. Now you got 3rd and goal from the 8. So now it maybe forces Defiance to think about going upstairs.
Clock continues to tick, coming up on 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Defiance is going to take their time in absolutely no rush, but this does shorten your playbook a little bit. Gibbs will be the only runner in the backfield. Trips to the near side. It's the short side of the field, and Ward will burn their final timeout. Well, again, you don't want to snap the football in a situation like this if you aren't sure what you're doing. But there just seems to be, I don't want to say confusion, there seems to be hesitation amongst a couple of players, but there's where the young sophomore quarterback might be growing up a little bit here in week number 8, where he might have tried to force a play 2 or 3 weeks ago. He's burning a timeout here.
Yeah, I think that's a smart timeout. You still have some options here, even though that 5-yard penalty throws them behind the chains. You have the ability to run the ball. We've seen some big plays from the Defiance backfield here tonight. And if you don't get it on 3rd down, and then you have that RPO, I think, on 4th down if you need it. So I would not be surprised to see Defiance handle off here. But again, Defiance, they've been pretty good at trying to be unpredictable for a team that's basically pretty vanilla and pretty predictable. They've done a nice job of trying to throw some wrinkles in here tonight.
At 8 yards, you figured this would be a passing down, but with Kelton Gibbs in the backfield, he's easily good for probably 4 to 6 of that just before first contact. The question is, do you have a play that you think gets you to the end zone, or do you trust number 32 here? 2-step drop. This one fired to the corner. Caught! Touchdown! Jordan Wright hauls it in. Wow, what a route and what a job by Ward to stand in and take the licking just as he delivered the football.
Oh, you can't say enough about what Colt Ward did that time, because that time Lima Bath went on an all-out blitz, and he was under duress, and he took a shot, but he held the football for as long as possible. And that time Jordan Wright was able to make that nice out route there into the end zone. So Wright comes up with a touchdown. Now the big PAT coming up for Defiance.
Burris missed his first. Snap is down, kick is up, and this one is good.
Oh, a huge West Banko touchdown there for the Bulldogs as they retake the lead here late in this opening half.
13-6. Every day since 1870, community focused. Find out more at westbanko.com. We'll take a 60-second timeout. 2:15 left to go in this first quarter. That is plenty of time for this high-octane Bath offense. Stick around. We're back at Fred Brown Stadium right after this on DCTV Sports.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Back at Fred Brown Stadium, the kickoff by Burris was low. Hale came up and fielded it, but he fell down to secure it, and he's downed at the 12-yard line. So that is where Bath will take their fourth offensive series of the first half with 2 minutes and 15 seconds left to go and trailing 13-6.
Yeah, in the last three Bath possessions, their average starting territory has been inside their own 20.
Yeah.
So looking at a long field, but still plenty of time for this high-octane offense.
Well, they can make this up in this basically a blink of an eye as Welsh looking left. Now looking right, and he's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take off down the far sideline and run out of bounds just shy of the 30. Well, Defiance is secondary, and even those linebackers playing exceptionally deep here, trying not to give up the home run just before the end of the half, but that left a lot of room in the underbelly for Welsh, and he picks up a huge gain of about, 12? 17.
Yeah, big time. Closer to 17.
Welsh. Quick fire. He's got his man down the far sideline who slips, makes a tackler miss, and Daniel Cole heads up move to get out of bounds across the 40-yard line out to the 43. Look at this. They've made up almost half of the football field in just 2 snaps.
Well, we talked about that off here. You know, they don't need 2 minutes for a 2-minute drill. They need about 30 seconds. We still have 1:59 to go. They got 2 quick first downs out near midfield.
Empty backfield coming off the edge. This is going to be a slip screen. And just past the outside hash marks, and look out, making a man miss. And here goes Cole down the far sideline and diving for the pylon, waiting for a signal, and he's not going to make it. He's going to be just shy at the 2-yard line.
Well, that's going to be good for a long gainer that time. We're going to call it 55 yards. And wow, in a matter of 25 seconds, Bath has flipped the field. Now
First and goal. They're trying to get the equalizer, and no call. He's not in. Just shy.
Yeah, that time they go with the snowplow there, the quarterback sneak, and they get a pickup there of maybe a yard, but still looking at 2nd and 1.
This will be the 5th snap of the drive, but plenty of time. 2nd and goal from the 1. Coming up on 1 minute and 15 seconds left to go in the half. Welsh taking his time, and he's going to line up underneath center. Quarterback sneak this time, and it looks like he is in. Yes, he is. Touchdown, Wildcats.
Boy, that's a huge answer by Lima Bath. You know, we talked about it, Brent. If somehow Defiance could find a way to get into the locker room, giving up only 6 points, and to get the football to start second half, that was going to be huge. But Lima Bath, their credit, they wasted little time, and they get into that 2-minute offense there, and that was an impressive 87-yard drive that took 1 minute and 2 seconds.
In
My
just
goodness.
a handful of plays. They will keep the offense on the field, going for 2 for the 2nd time tonight, trying to take a 1-point lead. Welsh with trips to the near side. He's looking that way, flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take off, and now he throws. Wait a minute, what in the world? Holy cow. A little sleight of hand to the far side of the field, but again, first time, okay, you might have thought chasing points. 2nd time, I can understand wanting to go for 2 and take the lead, but for the 2nd time on a 2-point conversion attempt, Defiance's defense has come up big.
Oh, that's huge right now. Bath 0 for 2 on extra points. Defiance hangs on to that 1-point lead. And I couldn't see what happened on that backside. Was it Reed Rowson getting the pick on that extra point attempt?
I was going to say, I'm going to be honest, folks. We're on the second level of the press box, and when the lights are on, there's a lot of reflection. So I'm trying to.
I could not see, but it looked like Reed Rowson was in that vicinity.
I'm going to go with your eyes.
He might have ended up with the pick. But either way, it's a huge play as Defiance, for the second time, denies the Wildcats the 2-point conversion. So right now,
a silver lining.
Defiance will take it. You know, they're up a point right now, and they'll get one more last crack at it with 1:07 to go. Right now, they'd love a big return one more time here to maybe give this offense a little life here in the final minute.
Walls tees it up and puts a foot into it. Boy, I'm not sure a return is going to be possible here. Nope, fielded in the end zone by Wright. That'll be an automatic touchback with $1.07 left to go. My guess is you're going to see either Kelton Gibbs, Chase Camaso, or we've seen Abel Paxton a few carries, extra carries in this first half. But 2 snaps of the football, secure the football, and just be content to go into the locker room up by 1.
Well, I agree. You know, right now you're going to try to hand the ball off here. If you break one off, then maybe you change. But you don't have any timeouts left. You're deep in your own territory. You've had a tremendous first half. You want to keep that momentum going into the locker room.
Lone back, offset to the right. Gibbs, and he's going to get the carry. Man, it's just next to impossible to bring him down one-on-one. That'll be a tough-fought 1 yard. And Bath is going to burn a timeout.
Yeah, why not? They've got all 3, or right now they still have 2 left. Okay. So they want to try to get a stop and maybe force Defiance to punt the football from inside their own 20.
You know what happens when Defiance has to punt. They throw a 62-yard completion on a fake. Not to say that that would happen here, but percentage football right now by both coaches. But got to admire what Coach Russell's doing here, because he's squarely putting the pressure on Defiance to execute in the last 60 seconds of the half.
Well, I agree. You know, he's showing not only confidence in his defense, but also confidence offense. They just want another crack at it. And again, if they've got 30 seconds to work with, we know what this offense could do. We just saw it there on that impressive 87-yard drive. That was, 4 or 5 plays?
5 plays. Took less than a minute and a half. 2nd and 9 from the 21. Handoff, stretch play, near side. Paxton lowers the shoulder as he picks up about 4. Oh, they're going to say his knee is down before the 25. Put it at the 24. That's only going to be a gain of 3, and Bath burns another timeout.
And right now, Defiance looking at a 3rd down and a long 6. So certainly not 4-down territory here. And Bath thinking, hey, let's force a 4th down, and maybe we're going to go after the punt and try to make something happen with our special teams.
But here's the key if you are Defiance. What play, what page in your playbook are you going to that picks up 5 yards and makes it a moot point?
Well, do you go with the RPO? You've got a guy like Colt Ward that's shown some good decision-making.
Boy, I don't know. If you're going to do that, you'd better be 100% sure. Again, what we talked about, he's being given partial field reads right now. So we'll wait and see, but are they running out of the eye? No, this is offset. Paxton, they're going to run just a quick screen. Wright makes the first man miss. Can he use his speed? And he stays in bounds, so that's a heads-up play. But maybe a gain of 1, and indeed it's going to bring up 4th down.
Well, that was a little bit more of a high-risk play. I mean, they go out to the flats right away, but credit Bath. I thought they covered that really well.
They did.
And Bath does exactly what they wanted to do. They burn all 3 timeouts, but they will force Defiance. And still 47.5 seconds left. Defiance will have to punt it away from inside their own 15-yard line.
Well, when you're going to go with a jailbreak screen call like that, the key isn't the receiver, but it's the man in front. Your receiver that's supposed to lead the way has got to make a clean block. And Wright got hit almost immediately after making the catch. He almost turned it into something, but basically the timing, the structure of that play got blown up almost immediately. So Hegler on to punt. They're going to set up the return. Kicking away. This will bounce across midfield, and a good job by Wright to hustle down and down it at the 48. But with 39 and 1/10 seconds left, an excellent field position. You can't count anything for granted if you're Defiance's defense. Bath right now, they're sending out their offense, and they're licking their chops.
Yeah, this is the best starting position for Bath tonight. They're going to start out at their own 49-yard line. So, again, still 39 seconds to work with. Defiance right now, they played too good a half here. They have to find a way to get a stop here and maintain that 1-point advantage here.
So 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line. Welsh will send Hale to the far side. Looking that way, getting pressure off the edge. He's going to step up and run. Now he's trying to get to the sideline, and they let him go, and he gets out of bounds inside the 40-yard line. That was just kind of a waved arm tackle or attempted arm tackle. That was enough for Welsh to get out of bounds.
Yeah, great job by Welsh. Once again, just a good decision maker back there. Didn't try to force something. Knew exactly where that first down marker was and was able to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
1st and 10 from the 40. Welsh dropping back, getting pressure. Now takes off, and he's going to get out to the near boundary and tiptoes out of bounds inside the 35. Tell you what, this kid is slippery.
Well, again, he's just got that high football IQ, and you look at him. I mean, he's a football player. You can tell, you know, he's a guy that just loves to put on the pads. He loves the contact, and again, he's doing such a great job of not forcing things. Tremendous arm, but also tremendous runners we've seen here tonight.
He picked up 8 there. It's 2nd down and 10 from the Defiance 32. Again, a straight drop. Again, steps up. Now he's going to head back. He hasn't passed the line of scrimmage yet, but this ball is going to sail out of bounds to stop the clock with 16.1 seconds left to go.
Yeah, it's another heady play that time by Zach Welsh. You know, he was able to extend that play, was able to get out of the pocket. But again, instead of taking a sack, instead of taking the loss, he throws the football out of bounds. That's a good incomplete pass. Brings up 3rd and 2.
Obviously 4-down territory here, and they only need a couple yards. The question is, what do they go to with an empty backfield? They send Hale in motion. Welsh with a 4-man rush. We've got a flag in the backfield. Welsh buying time. He's going to sling it deep. It is caught and run out of bounds at the 1-yard line, but we'll wait and see what the penalty is. Well, it was a tremendous route by Logan Markley, and he almost got in, but it looks like this one may be coming back.
And how about Welsh, just really cool and calm under pressure there, threw a strike right where it had to be.
Holding is the call.
But I think that penalty marker is going to be a big one there as they get called for the hold. So
is that their first or second penalty of the night? Their first?
That is their very first. Defiance has only had 2, but that service master penalty is costly there for Bath.
Well, when a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let Service Master restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhauls and rebuilding, contact Service Master by McCann. 3rd and 12 from the 42, but now under 6 ticks left to go on the scoreboard. They'll send Hale in motion again. Welsh getting pressure off the edge. Gibbs is coming hard, but he steps up. Looking downfield, he's burned all of the time. This is a Hail Mary to the end zone. It's up, and is it caught? Incomplete. Wow. Ball was bobbled as he was falling out of bounds, and Logan Markley almost came up with the play of the half.
Wow, that was one of those hold-your-breath plays for the Defiance faithful. As that time, Welsh was able to buy as much time as possible, threw a strike there to the end zone. I think that ball might have been deflected just barely. But again, that Defiance dodges the bullet as they escape here this opening half for the 1-point advantage here.
Well, it is basketball on grass for Bath, and they almost came up with the slam dunk. But as it stands right now, Defiance will take a 1-point lead into the locker room. Bulldogs 13, Wildcats 12. We'll be back with your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
There you take a look at the visiting marching band from Bath as we have reached our halftime show, the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, helping you achieve your dreams and securing your future. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, or online at midwestcommunity.org. We are at the intermission, trying to celebrate the homecoming dance with a victory. Still 2 more quarters left to be played, but right now Defiance at 4-4, leading 7-1 Bath by a score of 13-12. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. We're breaking down the stats in just a second here. But Scoop, what have you got? Let's go ahead and do the ServiceMaster Restore by McCann penalty check-in. If a natural disaster or fire throws a penalty flag on you, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhauls and rebuilding, contact ServiceMaster by McCann. It's been a relatively cleanly played game.
Well, it really has, and credit both teams for that. You mentioned before the game, Brett, that Bath, one of the fewest penalized teams in the WBL.
Yep.
Defiance has been right there with them all season, so these teams have played clean. Defiance with 2 penalties. The first half for 20 yards. They had that 15-yard penalty, personal foul that extended the drive where it looked like the Bulldogs had the Wildcats stopped on 3rd down. The other one was that 5-yard penalty from the 3-yard line where they had a 3rd and goal and they had a false start. And for Lima Bath, they had that 10-yard holding penalty that probably wiped off a touchdown there on that final drive there in the waning seconds of the opening half.
Taking a look at your stat tracker, brought to you by Arthur Law Firm. If a serious injury from a car crash puts you on the injured list, call the personal injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm, serving Northwest Ohio for more than 50 years. Get the compensation you deserve and back in the game with your winning team at Arthur Law Firm. Now taking a look at the offensive statistics, and basically this game is borne out the way we anticipated. Defiance coming in with that high-powered rushing attack, likes to chew up a lot of clock and just move the chains, wear you down. On the flip side, Bath coming in, they'll spread it. As a matter of fact, they ran an empty backfield for the better percentage of their offensive snaps in that first half. They'll go to the air to any one of 3-4 quality receivers. The bulk of their yards have come through the air. But for the first half, team-wise rushing, Defiance with 152 yards, 88 passing for a total of 240. Of course, getting the job done on the rushing front, of course, Kelton Gibbs. 13 carries for 114 yards. He's well on his way to his average of 156 per contest. Individually receiving, how about this? Jordan Wright with 4 catches for 18 yards. Colt Ward on the evening so far has 26 of those 88 yards passing. Of course, the 62-yard reception by Matt Walter from Kelton Gibbs on the fake punt in the second quarter that set up their second touchdown, arguably you could say is the play of the game right now.
Well, I totally agree. That's the only stat, honestly, that surprised me here at halftime is the fact that Defiance has 88 yards passing. But remember, 2 of those were on that fourth down fake that was executed by perfection Defiance that set up their second score.
On the flip side for Bath, Zach Welsh doing a little bit of everything as we expected. Again, he's got 226 yards passing on the evening. He's hit on 65% of his attempts. Just talk about big play capability. You always hold your breath every time Bath snaps the football. Daniel Cole is an excellent example of this. Just 2 catches, but 69 yards. Couldn't quite get in. And a situation where both touchdowns on the ground, courtesy of quarterback Zach Welch. Also, Josiah Clark, 4 catches for 54 yards. They're doing the bulk of the damage so far.
You're right. You talked about Cole with those gaudy numbers that he has. He's probably, their third or fourth receiver. So they just are so deep there at the receiving court. They've got so many weapons. There's no such thing as a safe lead here against Lima Bath.
Well, the Defiance Band of Class honoring the upcoming Halloween season, and they are out on the field right now. Everybody in costume of some kind or another. One of the best bands, not just in Northwest Ohio, but in the entire state. Let's have a look and a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fans of all ages, the Defiance High School Band of Class welcomes you to their annual dress-up show. Tonight, the Band of Class will take you through a journey of your favorite childhood memories with music from some of the most popular movies and TV shows of the past quarter century. With their first song, be on the lookout for Brown, Charizard, and Pikachu. And not just those guys, because you gotta catch them all. Here is the Pokemon theme. In a world where the towns are peopled with cars, and even the bugs are mini-motors, a young, ambitious racing car named Lightning McQueen is a star. Accompanying him on his adventure is this Rascal Flatts cover from the 2006 Pixar blockbuster Cars. Here is Life is a Highway. It's a fairy tale as old as 2001, where an ogre and a donkey rescue a princess from a dragon for a medieval lord with self-esteem issues in order to get their swamp back. But they found more than they bargained for. If you believe in fairy tale endings, then you'll love tonight's final song. Made popular by the Monkees in 1966, and then again by Smash Mouth in 2001 from the smash hit Shrek. Here is I'm a Believer.
Take it back. Here we go. The band of class with a Halloween tribute here at halftime as Defiance leading Bath by a score of 13-12. We'll take a quick timeout. We are back with more of your Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show right after this. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
WestBanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused WestBanco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
At Arthur Law Firm, we understand how overwhelming life can be after being seriously injured in a car accident. With over 50 years of experience, Arthur Law Firm has a track record of getting the results you deserve. When you don't know where to turn, get answers with Arthur. Call us today.
Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
Back at Fred Brown Stadium, we are at the intermission, the Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. They're trying to celebrate homecoming in style, but we've got 2 more quarters to go before the Bulldogs can do so. And this Bath offense, as they've shown through the first 24 minutes, can score and score quickly. 13-12, again, the Bulldogs leading the Wildcats, as our Midwest Community Federal Credit Union halftime show is about to see a wrap on it. Visit them in Defiance, Bryan, or Napoleon, or online at midwestcommunity.org. Again, we broke down the stats for you. We believe that we are accurate, but let's take a look at them here on our stat tracker. 307 total yards compared to 240. Bath leads Defiance in that category. No surprise, you're going to see a huge discrepancy between passing yards in favor of Bath, but rushing yards in favor of Defiance. First downs, almost even. Both teams have played relatively clean, just 3 total penalties. That bottom right-hand statistic, Scoop, has been, in my opinion, the difference maker. Not just because Bath gave 2 extra opportunities to Defiance, but how we've seen how quickly this Wildcat offense can score. There's a swing of potentially 14 points either way. Now, one of those, the interception, came on the failed 2-point conversion, so that really doesn't play into it. But that very first turnover, a fumble inside the 5-yard line where Defiance took the ball over on their own 3 and then marched 9 plays down the field, chewed up the bulk of the first quarter to break the scoreboard first. How do you see the second half playing out?
Well, we saw a tremendous first half, I thought, from both teams, but you're right, Brent. I thought the huge turnover there inside the 5-yard line was a difference. Think about it. Lima Bath has over 300 yards of offense on 26 plays. They're averaging nearly 12 yards per play, but yet find themselves in the short end of a 13-12 game. So when you move the ball for 350 yards, you expect maybe 30 points or more. Instead, they've been held to 12 by a stingy, opportunistic Defiance defense.
And we don't even have that combined at 13-12 as you take a look at our current weather. 68 degrees, a little bit of a breeze to take whatever edge there might be off of things at just 10 miles per hour. Those are your Arthur Law Firm stat tracker stats. If a serious injury from a car crash puts you on the injured list, call the personal injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm. Get back in the game with your winning team at Arthur Law Firm. Well, don't forget, second half, they put up 3 more minutes as usual to allow the teams to warm up. But Defiance won the toss and deferred, so they will get the football to start the second half. I don't think we're going too far out on a limb, as there you see the Bath cheerleaders having a good time here this evening as the lights are beaming down. If you're Defiance, you need to stay with your strength. They really haven't gone from their strength, not just tonight, but all season long. Then you take a look at the strength. Kelton Gibbs, number 32. And I know we had there it is. We have the highlight stat tracker prior to coming into this one. 139 carries for over 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, averaging 150, basically 157 yards per game. Both he and Camaso in the top 10 in the Western Buckeye League in yards gained this season. But how do you tackle this kid, especially one-on-one? It's near impossible.
Well, it really is. You know, what a monster first half, 114 yards, averaging about 9 yards per carry in that opening half against this Bath defense. It's really been trying to overload and stuff the box, but yet Defiance has found a way to get first downs. I had them for 10 first downs in an opening half, and 9 of them were by the run. The only one was not, was that fake punt on 4th down. There you see Jordan Wright. What a big first half he had, especially
4 receptions and a touchdown.
As a receiver there, getting that big touchdown and having 4 hauls.
Well, you see what he can do, too, defensively, and they're going to need him to, I don't want to say play tighter, but be as effective. Those 4 interceptions are tied for first in the Western Buckeye League, but rest assured, he and the rest of that secondary for Defiance are going to get another major test in the second half.
Well, they will, and it's all going to boil down to, and no different than we talked about for the game, you have to control Zach Welsh. Easier said than done. If you do not contain him, he can hurt you with his legs. If you give him time, he's going to pick you apart, especially with that deep receiving core that they have. So they're going to need Jordan Wright and others to make some huge defensive plays here in this second half if they want to get the homecoming W here tonight.
Teeing it up, we are getting set for quarter number 3. Standing deep. Well, waiting for Defiance to actually send out their receive team, as Isaac Wells hasn't really given Defiance much of an opportunity for returns here this evening. The only one, Jordan Wright, who I wasn't sure should have fielded it at the 2, but he got behind his wedge in a hurry and got it out to the 30-yard line for a decent return. They are playing up a little bit more here. And again, with the way that wind is blowing at about 10 miles an hour, it will be in the face of Bath for the third quarter here, but I don't know that it's going to be a huge factor. As standing deep, Reed Rollison looks like the only deep man. This is going to be a low squib kick. Rollison will field it, bobbles it, pick it up, young man. He's at the 16, and he'll be lucky he does get out to the 20-yard line.
Well, that time the squib kick really works to perfection, as Rollison not able to get a handle on it. By the time he tracks it down, he's able to get a couple yards heading north, but they'll look at a long field starting out at their own 21-yard line.
So 1st and 10, standard position for a Defiance offense that, as we saw, played to its strengths in the first half. 152 yards rushing, 88 passing, 62 coming on one play, for a total of 240. But you got to figure a steady diet at number 32, and most likely Abel Paxton. It will be Gibbs, though, to open up quarter number 3 as he powers his way out to the 25, a healthy gain of about 5 on the play.
Oh, that's huge. That's what you want. Stay ahead of the chains there, control first down. And we talked about it, 4+ yards per play will win you football games. Pick up a 4 there on first down.
Trying to stay ahead of the chains. That was one of the things that Coach Russell told us was going to be crucial, was to try and put Defiance into passing situations. But for the most part, they've been able to take care of business here this evening. 2nd and 5. Gibbs, lone back, powers forward, disappears in a sea of powder blue and white. And it looks like they're going to spot him officially at the 28 for a gain of 3, but this will bring up 3rd, and we'll call it interesting for Defiance.
Well, it really is. This is old school football right now. We're seeing just a steady dose of running power football. That time, Bath in a 5-2 defense. They're usually kind of bringing a corner in as well, so a little corner blitz action. have 8 guys plus stacked in the box.
And they're bringing everybody. Look at this. Everybody in the box right now for Bath. We'll see if they end up dropping anybody back. They're going to try and heat things up. They're bringing everybody, and somehow Gibbs squirts through it. Second level, cuts back just outside the hash mark and all the way past the 45, out close to midfield at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's huge. And you mentioned it, 11 guys stuffed in the box. And sometimes when you do that, you break that initial level, get to the second level. Good night. What a big run once again.
21 yards when you say big, Scoop, and that is the first down and a whole lot more.
And again, right now, you want 4+ yards, but you break off that big one, you'll take it. And right now, Defiance just wants to keep that clock running, keep ahead of the chains, and keep possession of the football.
A little bit more breathing room now. It's the chains move, but so does the clock. We're under 10 minutes here as Paxton gets the call off the right side. Tell you what, we're talking about the Defiance running backs, but we have got to give credit to those big road graders up front. They are moving bodies against a big Bath defensive line. Tyler Doden Kiesling at 6'3", 245. Chris Bowling at 5'9", $190. Jack Hines, the center, at 5'11", 260, has done a tremendous job tonight. Then on the right side, Alex Hinojosa, 6 foot, 255, and Jackson Becker at right tackle at 6'4", 255. Pick your hole, but this offensive line for Defiance is moving one of the best defensive lines in the Western Buckeye League.
No doubt about it, and we thought that was going to be the first key, winning the trenches.
Gibbs finds a little daylight, and look at this. Look, forget about yards after contact. How about yards after second and third contact as he powers inside the 40 to the 39, a pickup of 8.
This is the textbook drive. This is just how you kind of dial it up. This is how you script it at halftime. Defiance coming out and executing. They're moving the football. They're doing it their way, too. They're not getting away from the game plan. They've stayed with the run here, and now they pick up another fresh set of downs.
1st and 10, inside Wildcat territory at the 39. So far, a textbook drive by Defiance standards here to open up the second half. Gibbs up the middle, second level. Spins out of a tackle. I was about to say tried to get through it, and he's down. The ball squirts loose, but his knee had already hit the turf inside the 35 to the 33. Pickup of, that's going to be a long 6, maybe 7.
Yeah, he probably ran 50 yards to get 7, but again, they're controlling first down, so call it 2nd and 4 here coming up.
Well, they're putting up 2nd and 3 on the board, so we'll give him a gain of 7. That was one of the rare times we've seen Kelton Gibbs try to spin out of a tackle rather than power through a tackle. Normally, he's like, who's in my way? And if there's nobody, he runs out of his way to find somebody to run through. 2nd and 3. Paxton offset to the right of Ward. Quick handoff. Paxton gets his turn off the left side. And I'm looking at left guard Chris Bowling. They used to call it the Bush push at USC. Well, Bowling gave him a little bit of a nudge. Give him a gain of 4.
Oh, he did give him a nudge, and another first down here for Defiance, their 3rd one of this opening drive of the second half.
Oh, goodness. You see number 58 there alongside big 56, Tyler Doden Kiesling, who is most likely, I won't say. I've been told, again, Coach Ritt and the staff, I asked earlier this week, who's getting sniffs? Doden Kiesling is. Out of respect for him, I won't mention the schools. He has not signed or verbaled anywhere. But rest assured, if he wants to play at the next level, he will. Gibbs to the 2nd level, almost trucks an official. We've got a flag being thrown in the defensive backfield, and we'll wait and see what the call is. Well, that's a healthy gain to the 20. Pickup of 8, but it looks like this might be coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold there on Defiance, and it's too bad because, they had a huge hole, and once again, we're controlling first down. But this service master penalty is really going to put them behind the chains.
That negates a fine gain of 8 yards for Gibbs. He was over 150 yards. He had basically hit his average prior to that penalty. He's averaging 157 per game. Clock continues to run, but now back them up to the 38. Make it 1st and 20. Ward out of the gun. Rolling far side. Going to fire, and nobody's there. They ran a smash route, and it looked like Wright was running deep, and number 5, Reed Rollison, was running underneath, but it didn't look like he finished off his route. He cut and then pulled up, and it looked like Ward was trying to lead him, and that ball falls incomplete, 2nd down.
Well, that time, pretty good coverage, I thought, by the Wildcats. It looked like Rollison was kind of being sandwiched, just really nowhere to drop the football. And, boy, that's huge. As now Defiance way off schedule, looking at 2nd and 20, something they have not been in tonight.
First time this evening, you can call it a true passing situation. Anything on 1st down, Scoop, might have opened up the playbook a little bit more, even if you pick up 4 or 5 yards. But here, you still need all of it on 2nd down and 20. They fake the handoff, keeping 2 backs home for pass protection. Ward being flushed out of the pocket, and he's just going to throw this ball away. Wisely done, as he was downed all the way back inside Defiance's 45. And sometimes you just need to live to see another snap.
Well, you're right. That's a great incomplete pass. That could have easily been an 18 to 20-yard sack.
Yep.
And Ward, he has the arm strength to ground that football under duress, thrown off his back foot.
Well, the key was he got outside the tackle box, so grounding not an issue in that situation. But now 3rd and 20, and again, Scoop, I don't know. I think you're in 4-down territory here if you're Defiance. You don't need all 20 on this snap, but you need something.
Yeah, you need to have a few options on 4th down and whatever. So big 3rd down, again, come up for Defiance, who's gone backwards on this last few plays.
Bath running 3 down linemen. They're setting up the screen. It is complete to Gibbs. He's got a couple of blockers in front of him, and he makes his way down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Well, I love the play call. You know, they go to the backside screen that time, and Gibbs, a guy that if he can make one guy miss, he's going to make that a very manageable 4th and short, if not pick up the whole 20 there. But that time a fine open field tackle by the Wildcats. That'll bring up 4th down, 11. But, again, I certainly have to believe it's 4-down territory.
Oh, absolutely.
No
the offense is on the field. And we'll see if Bath tries to heat him up. Right now, just showing 3 down linemen. They're pinching a linebacker up. He shows blitz, and they're going to pump. It looks like Ward might be doing a quick kick, and that's exactly what he's doing. A pooch to the far corner, takes a huge Defiance bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, down at the 1-yard line. Wow.
Yeah, great execution by Defiance.
Now wait a minute. Are they going to say he was standing in the end zone when he downed that ball?
It did look like his right heel was hitting the goal line.
Situational awareness for Kelton Gibbs. They're going to say he broke the plane of the goal line, and instead of the 1, it will come out on a touchback.
Boy, that's a huge break there for Lima Bath as that ball just kept rolling and rolling close to that goal line. But again, you have to have your feet in the field of play, and that time it looked like he was right on the goal line with that right foot.
Almost. Instead of 1st and 10 from the 1, it's 1st and 10 from the 20, and here comes Bath's offense. Quick flare to the far side. Catch is made by McDermott as he works his way out past the 25 to the 26, 27-yard line. And they like to move. They wait on the official to spot the ball. And here they go, again with that fast tempo offense, and Hale into the secondary, kicks it to the near side, and a good low-level tackle made that time by T.J. Burris. But there's the big play. We've seen Bath picking up huge chunks of yards in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and again, Mikey Hale, he's a guy that can certainly get downhill in a hurry.
Welsh rolling out far side. He's just going to dump it off underneath, and a spin move out of a tackle that's just too high pad level, and all the way inside the 35 down to the 30. Again, got to get a better angle, but you can't hit that high and expect it to bring down anybody, and that's just a great run after the catch by McDermott.
And this offense is really making the chain game work here tonight as they've been struggling just to get to the line of scrimmage in time.
Welsh fires into the flat, and Was that a lateral picked up by Wright? Nope. The line judge lays his arms out flat, saying incomplete pass.
Well, they'll take it. One of the few times it seems like Bath has thrown an incomplete pass. They've been that prolific, that good on offense. Continue to move the football.
You just can't take a breath against this offense.
Now they've got over 400 yards here on the night.
Looking to take the lead, trailing 13-12 here. Welsh, empty backfield. Clock remains stopped at 4.5 minutes, third quarter after the incompletion. Defiance, are they bringing pressure off the edge? They are. They're coming with the safety blitz, firing across the middle. One-handed catch, falling forward inside the 10-yard line. An incredible grab by Josiah Clark.
It really was. Boy, that's one for the highlight reel. Clark, who comes in, averaging over 13 yards per catch, gets the ball into the Stanball Jewelers red zone.
32 yards makes it first and goal from the 5. Check that, 23 yards, excuse me. And Hale is in for the go-ahead touchdown.
Wow, an impressive drive for Lima Bath. They can strike quickly and often. And that's an impressive drive. It covers 80 yards and did not take very much time off that clock.
Big play after big play. And Bath cashes in to take their first lead of the night, 18-13. Are they going for 2 again?
You know, I think they're kind of forced to go for 2 up by 5, so they will be chasing some points here.
And they're going to go for 2. Hale, the lone runner, standing basically just offset to Welsh's right. They've got trips to the far side, and that's where they're going to go. Hale now tucks it down. Does he want to run? Buying time. This is a coverage sack. Down he goes at the 18-yard line.
Tremendous job by that Defiance defense for the 3rd time tonight. They stuffed Lima Bath, trying to go for 2 one more time.
Wow. Back and forth we go. 4:13 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Wildcats with that quick strike offense, but cannot convert on the 2-point conversion. Their lead remains 6, 18-13. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
7 plays on a drive that started at their own 20. At the 4:13 mark in the 3rd quarter, a Hale 5-yard run gives the Bath Wildcats their first lead of the night, 18-13. A drive that stalled, and a drive that basically, like a magician waving over his magic hat, pulled a rabbit out quickly, and it's a 6-point Bath advantage.
Yeah, another impressive drive. They stay right on their average. They're able to cover 80 yards on that drive, just 7 plays. So again, nearly 12 yards per play for Bath, right on their first half average.
Walls with a low squib kick coming up, and who wants it? Bobbled by Wright. He's got to figure out which way he's going. He's running east-west an awful lot. Now finally gets to the 20, lowers the shoulder, and gets out to the 25.
That's tremendous coverage that time by Lima Bath as Wright tried to extend that play. Kept fighting to get to the edge, but they contained and are able to force Defiance. Now looking at a long field, they'll start out their own 25-yard line. 1st and 10, as Scoop mentioned, from their own 25, but trailing for the first time this evening by 6. Still a lot of time left to go in this game. 4:03 left in the 3rd. And we'll see how Defiance responds. Ward, offset by Gibbs to his right and Paxton to his left. Gibbs gets the call on the cross buck, busts it to the near side, and look out, squirts through a hole, and this may be a 1-play drive. Dead sprint, nobody's gonna catch him. Gibbs, 75 yards in a cloud of dust, and just like that, the Bulldogs back on top. Whoa, my goodness, how about Gibbs? He continues to fight through this defense. 75 yards down the left sideline. And Defiance, after finding themselves on this short end of the scoreboard for the first time tonight, waste little time of retaking the lead. The Bulldogs up by 1 as we wait the point after What a run there by
Wow.
Gibbs. He's had a monster night.
Are they going to go for two? We'll wait and see. It looks like they will. Up 19-18. A one-play drive, 75 yards by Kelton Gibbs. And who says Defiance doesn't have quick strike capability?
My goodness, boy, he's dynamite, and he's
Wow.
elusive, and he's quick.
Out of the gun, Ward barking out the signals. Gibbs offset to his left. They're going to run an option, and it's going to be a reverse, a pass. Walter's there. So Gibbs runs for a touchdown and throws for a two-point conversion to the tight end, Matthew Walter.
Wow, they're pulling out all the stops. An impressive extra point that was well executed. Defiance, that's huge. That puts them up 3 now as they convert on the two-point try.
Catch your breath, everybody. 3:51 left to go in the third quarter. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more at Fred Brown Stadium on DCTV Sports.
Discover affordable transfer opportunities at Northwest State.
Start here and save thousands on tuition.
Our advising team will help you get your credits transferred.
So don't wait another minute. Get started today.
"75 yards later, and oxygen waiting for him in the end zone. Kelton Gibbs on a one-play drive gives Defiance the lead, but he doesn't just score the touchdown, he throws the completion on the two-point conversion to make it 21-18. Defiance will kick off. Bath waiting for the chance, and this one will sail out of the back of the end zone. They'll take it 1st and 10 from their own 20. Never say never when you're talking about this Wildcat offense. Scoop, they can score, and literally in the blink of an eye.
Well, they really can, and when their backs have been the wall, that's kind of when they've been the best. So, again, they still are averaging north of 11 yards per play this entire ball game. That's not per complete pass, that's per play.
Yep.
And yet they find themselves trailing here as we're into the 4-minute mark of this third quarter.
That last touchdown by Kelton Gibbs, a West Banco touchdown. Building a better bank every day since 1870. Community focused. Find out more at westbanco.com. Hale, near side, cuts back against the grain. Boy, he almost slipped out of that tackle. Brought down just shy of the 30 at the 29. Seeing who wrapped him up there. Turn around, young man. Is it Schultz? It looks like number 30, Cam Schultz.
Yeah, nice job by Schultz there. But again, nice pickup by Bath there. 8 big yards and first down.
Hale gets the call again. This time wrapped up off the right side and going nowhere fast. This time, number 34 coming out of the bottom of that pile. Evan Fogel for Defiance.
Yeah,
it's enough for a first down,
short
though.
pickup, but it will move the change. So Bath continues to move the football.
Coming up on 3 minutes left to go in the third. They're coming with a blitz. Gibbs comes, they pick him up, and that's enough for Welsh to squirt through a hole, and he's down the near sideline. Almost spun out of a tackle, but it's a touchdown saver by Grady Duma.
And right now this offense just looks unstoppable.
It does.
And they're doing it on the ground right now. They've
Yep.
had 4 first downs this second half. They've all been big plays, but 3 of them have been on the ground, 1 through the airways. We're going to have a timeout.
And Gibbs appears to be okay. He got, I don't want to say blindsided, but the angle, it was clearly legal, but they were bringing him from his outside linebacker position on a blitz, and he got taken out by an offensive lineman, and right now he's trying to clear the cobwebs. 1st and 10 from the Defiance 38. This is just the 4th play of this drive. Folks, they've gone from their own 20 inside Defiance's 40 at the 38. Welsh barking out the signals. This is a design quarterback draw. Makes the first man miss. He's at the second level. You can't arm tackle this kid. You're going to have to get low. Hinojosa does from behind.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Boy, he's just an athlete out there.
Do we have a flag?
Strong.
It looks like we do. It was a gain of 12, but this might be coming back, and it looks like holding is going to be the call.
Well, that's a huge break for Defiance. Just a second penalty all night on Bath.
Scoop, I want to ask you about pad level, especially from the defensive side for Defiance. We're seeing a lot of guys trying to hit Bass skill position players high. And they're just too strong. They're just too slippery. You're going to have to get a lower pad level.
No, these guys are athletes out there. So if you try to take them down up high, good luck. They're going to just continue to grind up yards. You've got to get down low.
Well, speaking of getting low, that's how it's done. Hinojosa hit him high. Schultz hit him low. They'll each take half a sack, and Welsh goes down on the Bass side of the 50-yard line.
Wow, Hinojosa and Schultz come up with a big play. Not many times tonight.
No.
As the Wildcats had a negative play, but that's a big one right there. And right now, Bath going a little bit backwards here. They're looking at
2nd and 24.
24 to go for first down. So certainly within their playbook, no doubt about it, but going to make it a little bit tougher right now.
It's actually going to be corrected on the board. It's going to be 2nd and 22. Still a long way to go. Welsh fires across the middle. It is complete. A pair of defenders run into each other. Nice spin move by Cole to get out of 1-2 tackles. Kind of running east-west, but he's inside the Defiance 45. They'll mark him down at the 42.
Well, that's huge. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 13, so they get a big chunk right there. Going to be 4-down territory, so still have 2 downs here to get those 13 yards.
A minute 30 left to go in the third. Welsh slings it to the near sideline. It is complete, and that's how you drop down and take somebody's legs out from underneath them. It is complete to Cole, though. It's a short gain, but a good open field tackle by Chase Camaso.
Yeah, nice job by Camaso. And again, the key was he got him down low. He's able to wrap up down low. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and 10 down for the Wildcats. Boy, this could be huge here for the Bulldogs.
You see Camaso's offensive numbers there, Scoop, but he's been playing primarily defense tonight. I don't think he's got a carry, does he?
No.
4th and 10 from the 38. Welsh, straight drop. Pockets clean, slings it down the near sideline. He's got his man complete for a first down. Logan Markley knew where the chains were. He cut out just a yard or two past it, and that ball was dropped in perfectly by Welsh.
Well, you can see why Markley was all WBL a year ago as a junior. At that time, as you mentioned, he knew exactly where the chains were. And how about that 4th and long conversion there for the Wildcats?
Well, they needed 10, and he ran an 11-yard route. That doesn't make the highlight reel, but it moves the chains and keeps the drive alive. 1st and 10 from the 26. 20 seconds left to go in the quarter. Welsh barking out signals. Defiance is coming on a blitz. He dodges one man. He's going to fire a wounded duck to the end zone. Almost intercepted. In and out of the hands of Grady Duma.
Yeah, that time looked like Duma had a chance for the pick. There is laundry down there on the field.
Are they going to call interference?
There was a lot of contact down there near the end zone.
Well, the ball was a little underthrown, so the question is this offensive or defensive interference, and they're going to march it off against Defiance. That is a tough call if you are the Bulldogs, and Coach Rittenauer is fit to be tied.
Yeah, that's a tough break there for Defiance because they really forced Welsh to just kind of throw up a jump ball. He was under duress. Defiance had a chance to get the sack. They came up empty. Right now, Defiance trying to bring a lot of linebackers and disrupt the timing of Welsh. But, boy, that service master penalty is another dagger here for Defiance.
Mark it off, 15 yards, make it 1st and 10 from the 13 inside the Stambaugh Jewelers red zone. Welsh, straight drop. Pocket clean, now he's flushed out. He's going to fire off his back foot, complete to Hale, but Schultz is there to blow him a kiss at the 11-yard line. That's only going to be a couple-yard gain.
That's a great play by Cameron Schultz, the freshman that time, to light him up and limit the gain to just a couple yards.
That's also the final play of the third quarter. They'll put up the last 12 minutes of regulation on the scoreboard. What a ball game. Defiance 21, Bath 18. Anybody's contest. Stick around and see who claims it. We're back after this on DCTV Sports.
WestBanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused WestBanco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Final 12 minutes of regulation put up on the scoreboard clock. We welcome you back to Fred Brown Stadium. Brent Balbinot alongside Scoop Miller. 5 days of hype have boiled down to 2 hours of truth. Coaches always say the dance is a lot more enjoyable if you win. Defiance trying to pull off the upset and celebrate homecoming in style. But right now, leading 21-18. It's 2nd down and 8 from the 11 for this high-octane Bath offense. They've switched ends of the field. Did we have movement on the left side of the Bath line? We do. That's going to be a false start. And a rare penalty, another Service Master restored by McCann penalty. But Bath couldn't have come up with a worse time to move a little early.
Yeah, you're right. They have not been penalized a lot tonight, but when they've been, it's been ill-opportune times. Just the 3rd Bath penalty of the night.
2nd and 13 from the Defiance 16. Now remember, they can pick up a first down without a touchdown. But our coaches used to say, if you're going to catch it that close to the goal line, just go ahead and get in. Make it a moot point. Twins near side, Twins far side. Well, straight drop. Pocket's clean as he rolls out, fires off his back foot, and it looks like that ball bounced.
Yes, it did.
Before it got to the receiver.
That was severely underthrown that time. It short hopped there on the turf. The great protection again for Welsh as that time of Defiance trying to get a lot of heat on him.
So 3rd and 13. This will be the 11th snap of the football on this drive for the Wildcats. And they will go with an empty backfield. All but 6 seconds of the 4th quarter up on the scoreboard clock. And Bath is going to switch their formation.
Now they're going to the pistol here.
Cole and Markley switch ends of the field. Hale releases. He's hanging out in the flat. Welsh wants to run. Stutter steps, lowers the shoulder, dives to the 5-yard line. He's going to be shy of the first down. Well, we'll wait and see on the spot. From here, it looked like he didn't get there. He did not. The ball is being marked at the 5. It will be 4th and 2.
Yeah, that time a good play there by Welsh, so he's able to make this a much more doable 4th and 2, and Wildcats going for it here.
No surprise. Empty backfield, Welsh. He's been a slippery runner tonight. Defiance, did they get into the neutral zone? They did not. They were showing blitz, but now they back out. Taking time, 7 seconds on the snap clock. They're going to have to burn a timeout. They're not going to get this one off, and they're not even going to try. Wow. Well, with the game on the line, we've talked about this how many times, Scoop? If you aren't all on the same page, no sense in taking a risk.
Yeah, it's a good timeout. I was a little surprised they didn't go with the hard count, maybe try to draw them off and then burn the timeout. But, again, a good call. And right now you've got your whole playbook open if you're Lima Bath. Just need a couple yards here, and you got a quarterback that not only can put the ball on a dime, but he also can run as well, as we've seen so many times here tonight.
We've seen Bath operating for 4 plays inside the Stambaugh Jewelers red zone. None bigger than the upcoming snap here on 4th and 2 from the Defiance 5-yard line. Taking a quick peek at your Arthur Law Firm stat tracker. So far tonight, on the ground, 228 yards rushing for Defiance, 100 passing for a total of 378. For Bath on the ground, 130 yards, 315 yards through the air for 445 total yards. And yet, what's the only stat that matters? Scoreboard. And right now, Defiance up 21-18 on what will be the biggest snap of the game to this moment here in the next couple of seconds. Both teams coming from their respective sidelines. They'll run twins to the near side. And trying to see, is this Davenport their big, yeah it is, Davenport, their big defensive end, who they've run as a glorified fullback, is offset. But now Hale will empty out. It's going to be straight up the gut, and that's what number 0 was in for, to take out the linebacker, and Welsh strolls in untouched for the lead touchdown.
That's a great play. I'd have been really surprised not to see anybody but Welsh carry the football right there. He's been that good, and he's had a lot of success there up the middle, and what a block he received as he goes in untouched. And Bath now has retaken the lead here as we're just nearly 1 minute into this fourth quarter.
Well, Bath has tried a 2-point conversion all up until now. They'll kick the extra point. It is up. It is good. 25-21. That extra point does pay dividends here, as it's now a 2-score ball game with a, check that, not quite. Make that a 4-point lead. It's the new math, ladies and gentlemen. But Defiance still has 11:03 left to go in the contest. We'll see how they respond. We'll take a quick timeout. Back with more right after this on DCTV Sports. 11:03 left to go in the ball game. We welcome you back to Fred Brown Stadium. It was a 12-play drive that started at their own 20, capped off for Bath by a 5-yard touchdown run by Welsh to make it 25-21. This kickoff will take right all the way back into his own end zone, and by Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, that is not returnable as an automatic touchback. 25-21. It is still a one-score ball game. What I meant to say as we went into commercial was a field goal won't do it now. For Defiance, it will take a touchdown to re-give them the lead. But Scoop, what can you say, right? I'm trying to think of that old line from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. We've got them where we want them, right? 25-21, a chance to run down the clock, burn it up on the ground. We'll wait and see if Defiance has one more answer in them.
Yeah, right now you got a long field, but nothing different here for Defiance. They've been there all night, and they've answered the bell more times than not.
There's the counter, and boy, running right into one big defensive lineman after another, staying on the upright side. Paxton, that is going to be the toughest 1-yard gain he's had this evening.
Yeah, I think they're going to give him 2 on that, actually.
Oh.
You won't see a finer 2-yard run anywhere. He runs hard, you know. He's fun to watch because he just runs hard. He sells out. He's going to give you everything and then some on each and every play. And that sure beats looking at 2nd and 10. I know it's still 2nd and 8. But again, just try to find a way to get positive yardage. Matter of time before you can slip one off.
4 down linemen. They fake the handoff. Ward, pocket's clean. He's getting some pressure. He's getting pressure from behind, and he doesn't see it. He's going to be dropped. The sack coming from L.J. Davenport. They've been heating him up all night, and they finally got to him.
Yeah, that time just no place for Ward to go. As that time looked out to the flats, there was no one there. Then he tried to tuck it away, but the pressure from the backside, the pocket collapsed. Boy, that's a huge negative play. That's going to be a loss of 6, maybe 7 yards.
Yeah.
Bring up 3rd down and 15.
They've only had to punt once tonight. Now, granted, one was a fake, and they completed a 62-yard pass, but this deep in your own territory, if you don't pick up the 1st down here, if you're Defiance, as we've got a Bath player down, everybody catching their breath, and hopefully this young man is okay. Cannot get a number on him, although he's sitting up. Oh, and that's the big boy. Number 99, Jack Rader, all 6'4", 275 pounds of him. Scoop, and talking with Coach Russell earlier tonight, they've got 4, potentially 5 guys who are going to go play college ball at the D2 level, and Rader's one of them. He has 10 Division II offers. He hasn't made a decision yet. Davenport, who just made the sack, is probably, if he hasn't already signed with Morehead State. They've got a linebacker named Kennard who got injured in the very first game of the season. And then you've got a pair of wide receivers in, I'm looking down here. It would be Josiah Clark and Logan Markley. So there's a ton of potential college-level talent on this roster. As Ward drops back, steps up in the pocket, he's getting just a little too antsy, and he's going to be dropped for a sack.
Well, that time Defiance went on some vertical routes, but that time Bath dropped 5 guys deep in the coverage and just no place to go. Ends up being a coverage sack. And this is what Lima Bath's been trying to do all night, Brent, trying to make Defiance get in those passing situations. And this time, boy, they come up empty. Boy, this is a huge stop for the Wildcats as they're going to inherit some good field position after the punt.
Hegler to punt. It's a little bit of a high snap. He gets away a pretty decent kick. Markley's calling for a fair catch at the Defiance 49. With 9:16 left to go, Bath gets the ball in tremendous field position with a 4-point lead, and we've got Laundry on the field back at the 15-yard line. Did somebody run into the punter after the kick? Potential holding. We'll wait and see. How about this? We are in, the second, going on the 3rd week of October, and the officiating crew tonight is still in shorts. What's that tell you about how mild this fall has been?
I tell you what, we've had 9 perfect Friday nights here in Northwest Ohio, not just for the players, but also for the fans. Right now, the officials sorting things out.
Well, waiting for the call. See if the umpire will turn around and give us the signal. Illegal contact to the head, is that what it was? It wasn't running into the kicker, but if I read that correctly, it was illegal contact, and are they going to replay this? Because it was, 4th and a country mile.
Yeah, it was 4th down and 15.
So they're going to mark this off.
Now it looks like it's 4th and 6 somehow, so
okay.
Not sure why it's a 9-yard penalty, but
Defiance is going to run the punt team back out now. We'll call it 4th. And long enough, they've got a punt. Snaps a little high, but Hegler's got it. Gets away another beauty. Tight spiral. And it takes a sideways bounce. And then the second bounce is a favorable one for the Bulldogs as it rolls inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. So the second time actually pays a few more yards of a dividend for the Bulldogs, but still, Bath's got the ball in very good field position with a 4-point lead and less than 9 minutes left to go. And you know what the Wildcats are thinking here, Scoop. Time to put this one away.
Yeah, neither team's had a 2-score advantage tonight, and that's what Bath is trying to do right now. And with just under 9 minutes to go, this could be a dagger. So Defiance has to find a way to slow down this Bath offense, something they have not done here this second half.
Do you dial up some pressure here? Do you take a few chances? Right now they're only showing 3 down linemen. Welsh, this is this was not quite a slip screen, but that was as tight as I've seen. Normally you see slip screens come wide and come back in. This was across the middle with a couple of offensive linemen that released outside their 3-yard box, but a little bit of an unorthodox play and a rare drop tonight by one of the Wildcat wide receivers.
Well, Defiance did not blitz any of their linebackers,
No.
So they were all in the coverage area.
2nd and 10. Welsh with another straight drop. Defiance trying to get pressure with 3 down linemen. And now Welsh is going to take off running. He's into the second level and across midfield and a whole lot more all the way down to the Bulldog 40-yard line. A gain of 21.
Yeah, and Defiance that time, just a 3-man rush, and I think that just makes it a little bit too easy for
And
a
here
guy
they
like
come
Welsh.
again. Hale gets the call. They don't give you any breathing room to set up defensively. And Hale across the 35 down to the 33 for a pickup of 7. And guess what? They're going to line up quickly and do it all over again. And if you're the defense, that really wears on you.
Boy, it does. They want to make this a high possession game. We knew that coming in.
2nd and 3. Hale will vacate the backfield. Welsh is going to drop it off into the flat, and that's just too easy, and he makes a man miss. Well, there's the perfect example. If you're the young underclassman Cam Schultz, instead of going for the big hit, you got to keep your head up and just break down and make a play, because all of a sudden he looks up and Hale just sidestepped him.
Yeah, another first down there for Bath. Again, in tempo here, in rhythm.
A bit more deliberate here, too, as Welsh, one cool customer, taking advantage of the time ticking off the clock. Now under 8 minutes left to go. Another straight drop. He's going to sling this one across the middle. He's got a man wide open, caught at the 15-yard line. Another catch by Josiah Clark for 14 yards.
That takes it into the Stanball Jewelers red zone, and Bath making this offense look really easy right now. Everything's clicking. Defiance trying to bring a little bit more heat.
1st and 10 from the 15. Welsh on a design quarterback draw somehow makes the first man miss. They can't tackle this guy high, and that's exactly why, as he strolls into the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown and a little more breathing room now for the Wildcats.
That's an impressive drive, and what a run there by Welsh. Anytime you try to bring him down by the shoulder pads, it's just not going to work out for your defense. And Welsh creates a miss, and now Bath really trying to open things up. And Defiance, after having such a great second half just 1 week ago, finds Lima Bath doing that to them.
The lead is 10, trying to make it 11. The kick is up and tucked just inside the right upright by Isaac Wells. Wildcats 31, Bulldogs 21. Defiance sees their backs against the wall. 7:23 left to go in the contest. We'll take a quick timeout. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit SuperiorCU.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
$7:23 left to go in regulation. Wildcats 32, Bulldogs 21. How about Bath Wildcat quarterback Zach Welsh? Pick your poison. He has 334 yards through the air tonight, but he's also been doing it with his legs. Welsh on the night, 18 carries for 138 yards and 4 touchdowns. As this kick into the end zone, it will be an automatic touchback. And now Defiance, with that ground and pound style of offense, but down by 11, is going to have to score and score quickly.
Yeah, they do. But right now, you know, the goal is you make it a one-possession game, so I don't think you really have to abandon your game plan just yet. But you've got to find a way to make it a one-score game, and then you probably roll the dice with an onside kick. So important thing is you've got to find a way to move the football here. They certainly will have a little bit more sense of urgency here as they're looking at a 2-score deficit for the first time tonight.
Well, again, 7:23, if it's a one-score game, is right up their alley. But 7:23 with 2 scores needed, as they were seeing it right here, pulling a rabbit out of their hat, and the ball is picked off. Gibbs on a halfback pass sees this one intercepted. Laying out and making a tremendous play on the interception is linebacker Woodson Mikesell.
Yeah, how about the sophomore right there? Did a great job of dropping into coverage. He stayed with his keys, and then he got a great jump on the football, and he turns that halfback pass into a pick. And boy, that's a dagger for Defiance as the defense, after really getting no breather on that last drive, is right back on the field.
And a short field for this Bath offense, as they will set up shop 1st and 10 from the Defiance 33-yard line. You know, already almost out of reach if you're Defiance, but a Bath score on this drive would pretty much be the final nail in the coffin, and Welsh is going to take off into that second level, still stays on his feet, spins out of a tackle, walking the tightrope as he's down inside the 15 at the 12-yard line.
Well, that's the thing about Welsh. He understands that he's playing with the lead. He's not going to risk a pick in this scenario. And so he does the cerebral thing there. He tucks it away. He's able to get a first down inside that Stanball
Picks up
Jewelers
21.
red zone once again.
There you take a look at his numbers, Scoop. 17 touchdowns, just 1 interception coming into tonight. And he just does a little bit of everything. And we're seeing it here this evening. 2-step drop. He's got a hot receiver near side, and that pass is just a little bit low. Well, Bath coming into this evening 7-1. And they knew, in talking with Coach Russell, you heard him on this evening's pregame during the Estill Chevrolet Cadillac pregame show. Win tonight, and you control your own destiny next week as you host Wapakoneta, who coming into tonight was unbeaten, 8-0 and 7-0 respectively. And if this score holds, man, that is going to be a burner at Bath. We've got a flag in the Wildcat backfield as well, scrambles into the end zone for 12, but I believe this is coming back.
Yeah, that's going to be a hold coming up on Bath as once again Welsh finds a big hole on that left side, but there's a reason that hole is a little bit bigger than normal. As that service master penalty will negate the touchdown.
You know, Welsh's name wasn't mentioned to me by Coach Russell as one that had been recruited by any of the college teams, especially in this area. But even if, I don't know how you look at him, because he can pass, but he's also an incredibly gifted runner. I think you could be looking at multiple positions depending on your need offensively, but man, if I'm a coach somewhere at the D3 level locally, or maybe even in the GLIAC or GMAC, I'm giving this kid a look.
I'm going to get him on the field.
Yeah, just use his athleticism, directing traffic here. Look at that pass. It's a bullet wide open in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Hauled in by Daniel Cole, and that may be the backbreaker.
Unbelievable. Look at the poise by Welsh one more time. He held to that football as long as he could. He took a shot, but once again, it puts the football right where it needs to be. And now Bath has broken this wide open.
23 yards on the reception. How about these wide receivers for Bath as well? Man, they just, they're a handful.
And there's so many. You can't key on one or two guys. Their whole receiving core is lethal and dangerous. And we've seen why here tonight.
Wall's on for the point after. He's perfect on the season. The whistle sounds. Snap is down. Kick is up. Oh, did he push that? Oh, boy, that just stayed inside the far upright. But he remains unblemished on the season. And what was a close ball game for the bulk, not just of the second half, but for the entire contest. You look up and you're like, how did this become 18 points? It became 18 points because Bath can score literally on any and every snap of the football.
Well, they can, and Defiance, they had that lead coming into the fourth quarter.
Yep.
And credit to Bath. You know, they knew this was going to be a grind, and they've stayed with it. And Defiance defense has just had no answer for this Bath offense, especially in this second half. And now things have gotten away from the host Bulldogs here, who have had their struggles at home this year. Remember, they won that thrilling home opener against Napoleon, downing the Cats, 20-19
by a
early.
point. Yep.
But since that time, they've been 0 for 3 at home, looking to go 0 for 4 here unless they can pull something miraculous off here.
Well, make no mistake, Bath has had to earn this 39 points tonight, but they have done so. How about Cole tonight? 5 receptions for 104 yards and a touchdown. He is averaging over 20 yards per catch. As this ball into the end zone, an automatic touchback. There's 6:28 left to go.
Well, you look at his numbers, you look at Welsh's numbers, you look at Gibbs. I mean, those guys are putting video game numbers up here tonight. It's just been incredible. But Bath is really, you know, they're looking for their first WBL title since 1999, and they felt this is a team that could do it. and they still they're doing what they have to do. Make that Week 10 game against Walpock mean something.
Let's also credit this Bath offensive line because pass blocking is a completely different beast than run blocking. Run blocking, which is what Defiance does so well, fire off the ball, get a low level, and just move a grown man against his will. As they're going to run a counter here, but that D-line now for Bath is sniffing everything out. But this offensive line for Bath has done a tremendous job of pass blocking tonight, stepping back, just taking blow after blow after blow. Welsh has been under minimal pressure all night. You've got Richard and George Rope both on the left side, both at 6 foot and 300 and 320 pounds respectively. Shoemaker at center is 5'10", 200, but then you've got Clayton Rex at right guard and Isaiah Foster at right tackle. They're 255 and 240, so you don't have a single offensive lineman under 200 pounds. As Ward takes off down the far side and just lowers the shoulder and getting up, and we've got a flag. And the question is, was something said or was there a little extracurricular activity? We've got multiple flags now being thrown. There's frustration, obviously, on the young sophomore quarterback's part, but the question is, how many and against who?
Well, Brent, getting back to your point, you make a great point by that offensive line because you're right. Defiance has thrown all kinds of different blitz packages at them. They somehow seem to buy time for a guy like Zach Welsh. And when you overcommit, Welsh has that ability to hurt you with his legs.
But also his post-snap reads tonight, Scoop, I think have been exceptional. He doesn't lock in to any one guy. He will give 1,001, then 1,002, check-in option number 2, then 1,003, option number 3. And then if nobody's there, yeah, he'll take off and run. But the game just seems to come to him.
It really does, and he throws such a nice ball on top of that, but you can see he'll check off 1, 2, 3 receivers and not skip a beat.
He'll do it in about 3 seconds.
He knows where the guys are at, and again, he has that calming presence out there.
Personal foul, and we're going to have offsetting penalties here against both teams. You love that penalty, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's like it never even happened.
So the first down will stand there on the run by
Ward.
Colt Ward. And the penalty's offset, so Defiance does move the chains, but clock certainly a factor now at 5:40, especially when you're used to putting the ball on the ground each and every snap.
Well, he picked up 18, but they are down by exactly that many. Ward slings it across the middle, and he had a man on a quick slant. It was the tight end Walter, but maybe after getting some pressure and getting sacked a couple times, got rid of that ball half a second early. Incomplete pass stops the clock with 5.5 left to go.
Well, that's what pressure can do to you sometimes, and the fact that this Bath defense has made some great in-game adjustments and has found a way to slow down this Defiance team that just really ran at will there that opening half.
Yep. Well, they've still put up good numbers here in the second half, but they haven't finished drives. A punt and an interception on their last 2 drives. As Ward's just going to dump this one off into the flat and going nowhere. Boy, that took a long time to develop, and specifically for Zion Gonzalez to actually square his shoulders and try and get upfield, and by that time, nothing doing. It gets hit in the backfield for a loss of 4.
Yeah, what a great play by Landon Williams, the senior for Bath, coming up there and making that solo tackle. Another tackle for loss by this Wildcat defense.
3rd and 14, now under 5 minutes left to go in the contest. Ward, 2-step drop, slings it far side. It is complete. First man misses. This is where you just got to go north-south and try and make it as short as possible on 4th down. Reed Rollison gets close, and this will bring up 4th and about 3 after a pickup of 11.
Yeah, maybe 4th and 2 even. So nice pickup that time by Defiance. It's going to give you some options here on 4th down, but the clock now under 4.5 minutes, and you're still down 3 scores.
Yeah. On 4th and 2, Ward's going to drop. Flushed out of the pocket, and he goes down. Well, the last thing Defiance could have afforded there, and you see the big beef. L.J. Davenport, 6'4", 270, Jack Rader, 6'4", 275. They meet at the quarterback.
How about that? Those guys, a couple bookends out there have just been fantastic, and that time no chance for Ward to throw the football, takes the sack. And the fourth quarter struggles just continue here for Defiance.
Well, the question now is, does Bath want to just simply run out the clock, or do they want to keep things grinding? Up by 18 with 4:14 left to go. Again, their only loss on the season, 31-21 to Lima Shawnee. We broadcast here a few weeks ago, and again, in a game that played out very similar to this, Defiance took an early lead, but just ground down late in the second half. And right now, Bath looks like they're just going to go ahead, keep the ball on the ground, and run the clock out.
Yeah, that time Daniel Cole was the quarterback that time that took the snap and made the handoff. So right now, very content, just trying to shorten this game.
Well, and again, coaching etiquette does come into play. You've got the 18-point lead. We know Bath could score if they wanted to on 2nd and 9 here. But we've got some backups in, but just as I say that, throwing the football, and this is going to be an incompletion.
Well, that's typically a safe throw right there. We're just trying to kind of keep the ball moving. It's just a quick pass out the flats. Wide receiver that time slipped with the wet turf, but there are some clean uniforms out there for Bath right now, so they're getting some guys some reps.
This is Cole moving from wide receiver to quarterback, but that's Bath's version of a wide run. This offensive style, that's their version of handing it off and going wide. 3rd and 9. Cole's just going to flip it out, and again, empty space. Boy, they're giving a ton of cushion. Run out of bounds, trying to get a number on the young wide receiver. He's short of the first down marker. That is number 18.
But
that is Isaiah Clark.
Only going to be a yard or two short, so 4th and 2 coming up for Bath.
Well, they're going to go for it. Coming up on 3 minutes left to go in the contest. And everybody looking over. They've got plenty of time on the snap clock, 16 and counting. And they're going to use a little bit of all of it. As now coming into the backfield, Braden Mayer, a 5'9", 180-pound freshman. We're seeing a lot of underclassmen on the field, and they're going to run this one under center. Cole just goes under big center Caden Shoemaker for the first down, and now with 2:39 and counting, Defiance does have a full complement of timeouts left, but I'm not sure what good it would do to use them down by 18. And this is where I would expect Bath is just going to run the ball 3 times, hop on the bus. Oh, was that, he didn't get it?
He was short.
They're going to mark him short. All right, I was inadvertently giving the first down. He did not get it.
About a yard, maybe a yard and a half, end up being just under a yard short, so Defiance will take over, but again, time a huge factor with just 2:35 to go.
Well, we also have a Bulldog down. This has been such a physical ball game, but in addition to being physical, Scoop, just the tempo of it. I mean, Bath you get caught sucking your wind and you just can't catch your breath. They just run so fast.
Well, you mentioned the physicality. I think that's what gets lost in this game, the fact you've seen the high-tempo offense of Bath. You've seen the power run game of Defiance. And we've seen a lot of yards here combined for both teams tonight, but you're right. The physical play, I thought, on both sides. I think both coaches got to be proud of the physicality we've seen in the trenches here tonight.
Well, this is the next to the last week of the regular season, as trying to get a number on the young man who's getting up. That's number 58 for Defiance, a little gimpy. Chris Bowling, who has played on both sides of the ball tonight. And under his own power, good to see. Next week, Defiance is on the road. Our broadcast here on DCTV will be at Ayersville, as they will welcome Wayne Trace to their friendly confines. Ayersville struggling this season, but Scoop, the old phrase is only one team wins its final game. That's the state champion. That's not necessarily true. Got a battle of pride for both those teams next Friday night.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be a great game, and I would actually, I know I'm going to sound crazy in this, I'd actually give Ayersville a slight advantage in this one. They're a team that's gotten better. They don't have a lot of wins to show for it.
So Defiance takes the ball on the chains of possessions after turning it over on downs. 1st and 10 from their own 23. Colt Ward still barking out the signals, but right now it's just a matter of the final 2:22 ticking off the clock. Ward coming over with just a little bit of a noticeable gimp. Going to hustle back to the huddle. Scoop, this has been kind of lather, rinse, repeat for this Defiance football team this season. Great first halves, even strong third quarters, but some unfinished drives, maybe a big play allowed here or there, and a game that was tight, certainly a game that they had the lead in, and you just see a slow bleed over quarters 3 and 4. Tonight, I think you credit Bath. You have to credit Bath because that quick strike capability was more than a slow bleed. I asked you, this was a 3-point Defiance lead in the third quarter, and all of a sudden we look up, and now it's a Wildcat 18-point lead. But again, still the same mantra here, almost, for this Defiance football team.
Well, you're right. I thought both teams really did a great job. They came in well prepared. They followed the game plan, but a couple of almost, as you mentioned, for Defiance, they had a chance to stop a drive of Lima Bath in that third quarter on a 4th and long scenario. They converted. And, again, just a couple big plays that got away, a penalty that extended one drive there. I thought late in the second quarter gave Bath some new life. And you don't have that luxury and that margin of error against a team like Lima Bath, who only has one loss, and that to a very good Lima Shawnee team way back in week 4, I believe it was.
Zion Gonzalez picks up a healthy gain, moves the chains, but we're now less than a minute left to go, and barring a penalty, this is going to be the final snap of the football in this contest. Short gain, just kind of staying with what they do best. And that, unless Defiance wants to run another play, and it appears they do not. So a tough homecoming loss here this evening against Bath. It was a tale of two halves. Defiance led it 13-12 at the intermission, but the Wildcats with just too many explosive plays over quarters 3 and 4, and they will take it by a final of 39-21. Wildcats will up their record to 8-1 overall, 7-1 in the conference, and that sets up a huge matchup next week as Bath will host first place Wapakoneta, who came into tonight unbeaten. On the flip side, still an outside shot at making the postseason, but they're going to need some help. And more certainly, Defiance has just got to take care of business at Salina next Friday before they can do any scoreboard watching.
Well, you're right. They just got to control the controllables and do their part, and hopefully they'll get a couple breaks, some secondary points. But certainly the Bulldogs in the playoff hunt. This was a tough loss. I thought they really came out ready to play. But that 21-0 fourth quarter run by Lima Bath was the difference in an 18-point win by the Wildcats.
We're going to take a quick timeout. We're going to get everything situated on our end, and when we come back, we'll have the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Final score, Bath comes from behind to win tonight, 39-21. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
In life, unexpected challenges can test us. If you've been seriously injured in a car accident, you deserve a team that understands. Because your story matters. Call Arthur Law Firm today. We'll fight for you every step of the way.
Stamball Jewelers is your trusted source for diamonds, fine jewelry, watches, and gifts. Whether you're looking for a dazzling engagement ring, a timeless anniversary gift, or a present for someone special, Stamball Jewelers has something for every occasion. Visit us today and discover why we've been serving the community since 1948. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com.
When a fire or natural disaster throws a penalty flag, let ServiceMaster Restore work for you. Anything from minor cleanups to complete overhaul and rebuilding. Contact ServiceMaster by McCann.
Discover top quality healthcare education at Northwest State. Our instructors have real world experience, so they know how to prepare you for great career opportunities. Northwest State, where you'll get the top quality healthcare education you need to succeed.
WestBanco, building a better bank every day since 1870. Community-focused WestBanco. Find out more at westbanco.com.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Well, it was a tale of two halves this evening at Fred Brown Stadium in Defiance. The Bulldogs, just enough offense, just enough defense, and including a takeaway or two to take a 13-12 lead into the locker room at the half. But unfinished drives, a key turnover of their own in the second half, and Bath just that high-octane offense. You knew it was just a matter of time before they were going to spring a big play or two, and man, did they ever, through the air. Just a tremendous overall performance by quarterback Zach Welsh, but he has several college-level wide receivers at his, I'll not say discretion, but for his utility. It's been a long night, at his beck and call pretty much, and man, did they show up over quarters 3 and 4. Final score, Bath 39, Defiance 21. Let's take a look at our official stats as we welcome you back to the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. Keep your eyes healthy for a long life of clear vision. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center, your family's vision source. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com. These stats, we believe, are pretty accurate. They are brought to you by the Arthur Law Firm. If a serious injury from a car crash puts you on the injured list, call their personal injury attorneys at Arthur Law Firm, serving Northwest Ohio for more than 50 years. Get the compensation you deserve and back in the game with your winning team at Arthur Law Firm. Unofficially, we've got Defiance with 279 yards rushing, 107 passing, 62 of those coming on just one play. It was the fake punt in the first half from Kelton Gibbs to tight end Matt Walter. who then got down to the 5. Defiance punched it in, and were really looking good at that point in time, but they weren't able to sustain that offense in the second half. Gibbs had a monster night. 19 carries for 231 yards and 2 touchdowns. He also threw for a 2-point conversion at the time that gave Defiance a 21-18 lead, but that was the last of the offense. Jay Wright this evening, 4 receptions for 18 yards and a touchdown as well. Here come your video game style numbers for the Bath Wildcats. 199 yards rushing, 365 yards passing for a total of 564. Zach Welsh does the damage this evening. 69% pass completion for 357 yards, a touchdown. He did throw an interception on the 2-point conversion attempt, but at that point it was moot because it wasn't like they turned the ball over on downs. Right. It was just a 2-point conversion attempt. How about this, though? Throwing for 357 yards, he rushes for 19 carries, 159 yards, and 4 touchdowns. And I would say easily half of those 19 carries, Scoop, were designed quarterback draws. They weren't just drawing up plays in the dirt. They weren't just him making a post-snap read and tucking it and running. This kid is a multi-scoring threat.
Well, no doubt about it. And he's no secret, the WBL. They know what this guy can do. We knew coming in that was going to be probably the biggest concern for anybody. How do you contain a guy like Zach Welch? And the answer was tonight they couldn't.
No.
You mentioned those gaudy numbers. 365 yards through the airways. He was able to hit 5 different receivers at least 3+ times. So, again, he's got that deep receiving court that we alluded to. But, again, 159 yards, that's over 8 yards a carry on 19 rushing attempts. Again, he was a wrecking crew. Defiance had no answer for him. Although Defiance, to their credit, they were ready to play. Not only were they ready to play, I felt this is a game that they believed they were going to win. And they certainly showed it with the effort they had, the poise they had. But Lima Bath proved why they are a team to be reckoned with here in the WL, as they just kind of turned it loose in that fourth quarter, where Defiance only had 8 total yards the entire fourth quarter, no points. And Lima Bath, who trailed by 3 going in the fourth quarter, was able to put up 3 touchdowns and 3-point afters, and they were able to pull away late in this one.
When you take a look at it, and again, spreading the wealth, 5 different receivers with at least 2 catches here this evening. The lead dog, Daniel Cole, 5 hauls for 104 yards and a touchdown. That's over 20 yards per reception. Clark hot on his heels, 6 catches for 91 yards. And Mickey Hale, again, thinking about him as the running back, he released, caught a ton of passes in the flat as kind of a safety valve, and then just got yards after the catch. He had 7 catches for 71 yards this evening. If you are an opposing defense, how in the world do you cover all 53 1/3 against that deep of a receiving core?
Well, the problem is, if you do, guess what? Zach Welch is going to take off and beat you with his legs. So right now, it's just, it's just hard to stop this offense. You know, we knew they were leading the WL in a lot of offensive categories. You know, they came in leading in points. They came in leading in total offense and passing offense, and they lived up to the bill tonight as they beat a very much improved Defiance team here tonight here at Fred Brown Stadium.
39-21, those are your Arthur Law Firm Stat Tracker stats. We're going to take one more timeout. When we come back, we'll put a bow on this one as your Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show continues right after this on DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
Superior Credit Union, a not-for-profit, member-owned financial cooperative. Visit superiorcu.com to find out more about joining the winning team at Superior Credit Union.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org.
Back at Fred Brown Stadium, final score this evening on Defiance's homecoming night. 39-21. After taking a 13-12 lead into the locker room, the Bath Wildcats came out storming as they defeat Defiance by a score of 39-21, 18 points in what was a 3-point game in the third quarter. But that Bath, basically we keep saying high-octane offense. Folks, I'm not sure what else to call it. It is just quick strike. It is incredibly difficult to defend, as to the tune of now 8-1 on the season for the Wildcats. And that sets up a huge matchup next weekend at Bath as they welcome unbeaten and first place Wapakoneta. Wapakoneta entered tonight at 8-0, 7-0 in the WBL. This is going to be for all the marbles. Did Wapak win tonight? Do we know you were? Yes, so Wapak won. So this is going to be for all the marbles next week at Bath. If you're just a casual fan of high school football, that would be one you might want to buy a ticket to. But my guess is it might be standing room only.
Well, it should be because, Wapak, congratulations to them. They clinched a tie tonight with a win. That makes it a 5-peat for the Redskins. But this Lima Bath team, as we saw tonight, they got aspirations of their first WBL title since the 1999 season. So they still have plenty on the line, and they will be ready. And they got pushed tonight, but they also showed what they can do with their backs to the wall. And they came out fighting like champs, especially in that fourth quarter. They dominated Defiance 21-0 to pull out the W.
On the flip side, the Bulldogs now fall to 4-5 overall, 3-5 in the WBL. They do have an outside chance, but they took a hit here this evening. And as you and I talked about, they're on the road at Salina next week. Look, before you can do any scoreboard watching, you got to take care of business on your own field next Friday night.
You have to. Defiance was 12th in the region coming into tonight. That loss will dip them down a little bit, but if they can pick up that road win next week against Salina, who I believe won tonight, that will maybe catapult them into one of those top 12 spots, and they can go into the postseason for the 5th time in the last 6 years.
Right now, going to lick their wounds, get ready for a week's worth of practice. You're only guaranteed 4 quarters of football next Friday night. We'll wait and see how they respond. Scoop, appreciate you throwing on the headsets. Next week, there you see our broadcast as Josh Bush, and is going to be Andy again on the call with you tomorrow. Sure, yes. As Josh always says when he doesn't know the answer, yes. So it will be Josh and somebody doing the informative and entertaining color analysis. If it's not Scoop, it's Andy, and if it's not Andy, it's Scoop. So there you go. We'll spin the roulette wheel and see where it comes up. It's either going to be black or red. With that said, it will be at Ayersville, so we know that as they will take on Wayne Trace. That's going to do it for our broadcast here this evening. Again, the executive producer of DCTV is Jeff Tackett. The director of DCTV is Josh Bush. Our lead producer is Ryan Fairchild. Taking a look at our director tonight, Sean Vandelmark. Our producer, Ryan Fairchild, and on the cameras tonight, Richard, Brock, and Jalen. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot, thanking you for tuning in. Final score again this evening, Bath 39, Defiance 21. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.